Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world underneath the big Astro Dome. I'm listening to some really cool music right now. I think you guys could hear it just a little bit on the laptop mic. I've been trying to figure out how to stream the music directly onto the stream in kind of the pregame time. Sometimes I like to start, actually I prefer to start the stream a little early before I get everything set up, just so everything is going good, the audio is good, all the video is set up properly, everything seems to be correct, the information is correct, everything is set up right, everything is good to go. If I start the stream like 30 minutes early, then it not only gives me time to work out some of the kinks and bugs, but it also gives me a chance to relax, maybe have a little discussion, see what's going on, etc., etc. But today I've been doing some cleaning in the house. I don't know if you can really see it or not. Right over here, this is the edge of my bed, my temporary bed, and then over here is a table. It's a wooden table with a glass top. It was completely filled with clutter and stuff and dusty. I hadn't been living here for like a year and a half, so it was very dirty, dusty, whatever. So I completely cleaned it off. There's nothing on that table right now. Very nice. Bit by bit, getting this house cleaned up. For those of you who don't know, this house is about 200 years old. It's what you would call maybe a samurai style house. It's made of wood, tatami mats, and grass, and stone. Hey Sergio, good to see you. How are you doing today? Space City, thanks for coming in. Coco, what it do? I hope it win. I hope that's what it do. Luis Severino on the mound today for the A's. Framber, my favorite painter, my favorite corner and edge painter. Framber Valdez. He is my favorite edge painter. He knows how to do the curves just perfectly in his paintings. He's my favorite. He's the best. He's a master. He's master. Total master. Sergio says we're about 8 minutes to game time. That's right. That is right, sir. You are correct. Slowly but surely, things around here are coming together. I can't wait to finish getting this room clean and the Genkan. Primarily the Genkan. The Genkan is like the entryway right now. It's kind of it almost looks like an efficiency apartment right now in there. You can't see it, but it's got my little kitchenette, my temporary kitchenette. It's got my sofa. It's got my entryway where I come in the house, take off my shoes. It's got my trash can. It's got a table where I prepare food. It's got a little cupboard where I put dishes and food. And you guys will probably like to hear this. I also have in that room in there about a 25-inch Panasonic tube television that works really well. And I've got a Super Nintendo. Here in Japan, it's called the Super Famicom, but it's a Super Nintendo. I've got that hooked up in there. So I have a few games. I have 5 games. I have Mario Kart, Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I have a couple of Final Fantasy games. Another game might be Chrono Trigger. I have some really cool retro games in there, so I can game on a tube television if I want to take a break, play a few games. But the games are all in Japanese. So it really tests me. Luis Martinez. Luis, is it Luis or Louis? Louis. I guess it's Luis, right? Luis Martinez, thank you for being here. Good to see you. Hank Jr. Raiders fan, go Athletics. I don't mind you being an A's fan. You can be an A's fan all you want. Just as long as you're not a jerk, it's fine with me. I hope you're better than the A's fans that are in this stadium right now, because they've been yelling out some trash towards Jose Altuve. And so I don't really have a good opinion of the fans, the A's fans that I've heard so far. So with all due respect, I hope the Astros crush your team again today. Astros had 5 homers last night. Speaking of getting crushed, 2 of those from the rookie Cam Smith. Let's see if I got my game highlight window hooked up right. Yeah, it looks like it's good. It's good to go. It's in the right spot. Actually, I might be able to get another window here now that I think about it. Let me try. Might be able to get another window with the base runners, because I still haven't been able to get the base runners set up correctly. Okay, there we go. There's that. Now I'm going to open another tab, go to the ESPN page. Where is it at? There it is. Yeah. Should be able to get that set up. I hope so. Let's see if I can move it up there. Can I? It's not quite letting me put it where I want it, but it's close. Maybe that's good enough. Maybe that's good enough. Let's see here. Display capture. What is that? Okay. Let's select the area. Let's try that. Okay. I'm going to try to use the ESPN screen capture for this. Hopefully it updates correctly. Whenever you see a game highlight, it'll pop up like that. But when you don't, you should see the base runners. Of course, we've got the outs, the strikes, the balls, and the inning on the screen. Got the innings on the screen, got the score, all of that good stuff. Everything should be automatically updated today. I shouldn't have to update any of those things, so hopefully it goes well. Sergio says, I'm looking great. Or, yeah, you're probably looking great, too. Feeling great, looking forward to this game. It's Framber time. Let's go Stros. I'm looking forward to it, too. I just have a feeling that we could see a game that's 7-2 today. 7-2 or 7-1. Luis. It could be. You're right, Sergio. Now that I think about it. Luis says, enjoy this beautiful Astros dynasty. Seems like we're the 3rd generation. What do you think? Hey, it's very possible, man. The Astros are like a dark horse this year. And they've been written off, even though they've made massive improvements, and they're only a breath away from the Yankees. Everybody's been talking about the Stankies, but the Astros are literally a breath away from taking them out for 2nd place. How about that? Sweet Richard says, come on, Jordan. Yeah, we need some Jordan. If you mean Jordan, that's with a Y, not with a J, Richard. Every time you say that, I think you're talking about the Jordan who comes into the chat. But I think Jordan, let's see here. Yeah, Jordan is spelled with a Y. The base runners on the screen. All right. Me likey. It is a beautiful dynasty, and it's a beautiful day outside here. It's a wonderful day, and we're getting really close to first pitch. What in the world is going on? Why can't I get that button clicked? There it is, finally. Good grief. Hey, first pitch is on the way. Pena takes it for strike one. I didn't realize it was coming in already. I need to turn my audio on. Severino on the mound. Here's the next pitch. Little check swing foul ball down the first base side. 0-2 just like that. Yeah, first generation Altuve, Springer, Correa. And Altuve has been here ever since the beginning. Isn't it amazing? How valuable is he to the Astros, to Houston, to all the fans? Here's the next pitch to Pena. Outside, looked like a Swiffer, and it was. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Mr. Tacos Hernandez. He fouls that one off. Count remains 1-2. Jeremy Hernandez. Astros batting lineup today. Pena, Paredes, Altuve. That one's taken for ball 2. The four-seam fastball missing the mark. Even Steven. Astros got their throwback colors on. This is grounded to third base. He takes a step, fires it over, and gets him no problem. Easy out for the third baseman. 1 up and 1 down. Isaac Paredes comes to the plate. Just to let you guys know, Altuve's in left field today. Diaz is catching, batting fourth. Christian Walker's at first. Cam Smith in right field batting 6th. Caratini's the DH batting 7th. Jake Myers batting 8th in center field, and Dubon batting 9th at second base. Here's the pitch to Paredes. Little low, ball 1. "15 homers this year for Paredes so far. Ooh, 90 miles an hour right in there. Nice cutter. That was a good pitch to crank. 1-1 is the count. Mariners lost today. Heck yes. We need to win even more now. That's ripped foul down the third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm sorry, 1-1. Oh, yeah, it is 1-2. I was right. They just didn't change it on the screen. I thought I was right. Don't doubt myself. I need to have more confidence in myself. I want to get myself a Glenn Davis uniform. That's what I want. That's the throwback uniform I want. 1-2. 94 just above the zone. Swing and a miss. Paredes goes down with a strikeout. That's not something you see very often, a swing and a miss on a high fastball. The stupid A's fans start booing as Altuve comes to the plate. Sorry, didn't mean to say that. Their state is stupid, not them. Low and inside. Strike 1. Hey, Brendan, what's going on? Nice to see you. The Stankies are losing 3-2 to the Angels in the top of the ninth. Sergio, thank you for that update. Fouled off by Altuve on the Swiffer. 0-2. Man, Altuve's really suffering on the road right now. His batting average is 197, but at home it's 333. Here's the next pitch. It's hit up the middle. Hey, nice line drive right past the pitcher. Altuve has himself a base hit with 2 outs. All right, Altuve. Nice smack by Altuve. Good solid swing right up the middle. Perfect. Yainer Diaz. Let's see. We're going to get an opposite field double or home run from Diaz. Opposite field. I can smell it. Here it comes. Little check swing. Fouls it off. That looked like Pena's foul off. Brendan says, watching Shark Tank and you. Shark Tank. That's interesting multitasking right there. 0-1 to Diaz. Here's the pitch. That sky down to center field pretty deep, all the way up to the warning track. Wow. Man, that was a nice strong hit. He just got too far underneath it. Yiner really close there to driving one out of the park in dead center field. Holy freaking cow. One hit that inning, though, for Jose Altuve, who drove one right up the middle. If Yiner had straightened that one out just a little, that would have been a blast. We are already at 21 likes. You guys are freaking amazing. I haven't said a single thing about my sub goal or my likes or anything. We're already at 30 people listening in and following along and 22 likes on the channel. You gentlemen and ladies are the best on earth. Thank you so much for the likes and the love. We're already climbing up towards 30 likes, and it's not even through the first inning yet. I think that's the fastest we've ever gotten to this point. That's great. Just to remind you guys, if you see on the screen there, I've got the goal, the 500 subs goal. I'll make it very big for you just so you can see it clearly. Let me do that. Right now, we've got basically 12 days or so left until the end of the month, and my goal is to get to 500. I really hope that you guys can help me out with that. If you have not liked if you haven't subbed to the channel yet and you do like the Stros, I would encourage you to do that. Help me out. Once I get to 500, it does unlock some extra features that I don't have right now. Thank you in advance. And Geaux Stros. Framber Valdez is on the mound for the Astros. He's going to be facing Max Schumann. Still taking a couple of warm-up pitches. Caesar says, good day, Stros. Let's get this started. Let's get 500. Amen, amen, and amen. Caesar, it's good to see you. Welcome back. Brendan says, is that Naruto in the picture? Yeah, basically. Naruto is my favorite all-time anime. It's just because I see a lot of myself in his character. So I use the AI to kind of create a hybrid. He takes the style of Naruto and mixes it together. I say it mixes the style of Naruto with the colors and branding of the Astros in order to create my images. It's really convenient. I almost said bindi. Bindi is how you say it in Japanese. It's really convenient. First pitch from Framber is due in just a moment. Here it comes. Schumann takes it right down the middle. 95 miles an hour. Strike one. Rangers are losing 4-3, says Sergio, to the Royals. To the Royals with cheese. Here's the next pitch. Low and outside. Ball one, and the count is even. Top of the seventh. Let's go, Royals with cheese. It's a good day when the Rangers and the Mariners lose and the Astros are playing the A's. Come on. Let's go. Here's the 1-1. Fouled at the plate. The curveball. He got around that way too early. Fouled it off his foot. He fouled it off his foot. 1 ball and 2 strikes with no outs. Schumann, the leadoff batter for the A's. Here in the bottom of the first. 26 likes now. We're creeping up there. We're knocking at the door of 30 already. Here's the next pitch from Framber. Nice curveball, but hit in the gap. Cam Smith able to put it away. Looked like he had a little trouble with the sun, but he's got the shades on. He's sporting the shades. One away. Yo, Sergio. Sergio. Jacob Wilson is at the plate. First pitch from Framber is just a tad low. 94 mile per hour sinker. It sunk a little too much. Just like a submarine, it went down deep. 1-0 is the count. Here comes the next pitch. Wow, look at that. Did you see that? Framber snags that ball off the ground. Look at him smiling about that, laughing. But look at this. It was a rocket right off the ground, and Framber was able to catch it. But the throw over to first base was absolutely terrible. Luckily, Christian Walker got it. Out number 2. That was funny. Framber again, man. You got to watch him on the defense. Strike 1, the first pitch to Brent Rooker is in there, the curveball. Strike 1. Here comes the next pitch. Rooker goes into right field, and that's going to be down. A single. Cam brings it in. So the A's and the Astros do the same exact thing. 2 outs, 2 up and 2 down, and then a single. No shutouts today, or rather no hitters. Three away from 30 likes. Maybe if I keep looking at it, it will go slow, right? Here's the next pitch. First one to Urias. That's in there. Strike 1, 94-mile-an-hour sinker. Yeah, Brendan, if Cam keeps getting home runs, man, it's going to be a huge lift for the Stros. Here's the next pitch. Just a little too far inside. That was a very slowly developing curveball, 80 miles an hour, all the way across the plate. I'm surprised he didn't swing at that. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 runner on first. Here comes a 1-1 from Valdez. That's in there. Nice curveball. Same exact pitch that he threw last one. Same speed, same type. Except this one went right in the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two outs, 1-2 pitch. On the way. That one's golfed out into the crowd on the left side. Count remains 1-2. Sergio says I'm about 5 miles from the cruise ship terminal, the port in Galveston. Can you go anywhere from there? Oh, cruises. You can go on cruises from there. That's pretty cool. I've never actually been on a cruise. I've been on a couple of ferries. Grounded to Pena. Pena to second to Dubon at second, and that's it. Same result at the end of 1. Same result the Astros had at their at-bat in the top of the first. 2 outs, single, 3 outs. 1 hit for both teams. No runs on the board. We go into the top of the second. Who's up for the Stros? Should be Christian Walker. Christian Walker, followed by Cam. Crank it up, Cam Smith. And the Batman, Victor Caratini. Isn't it funny when your DH is batting 7th? You know that we don't have a strong DH in the game when he's batting 7th. But can you imagine right now if we had Jordan in the lineup? If you look at the top 4 batters, would we move Altuve? Maybe in the beginning when Jordan first comes back, they'll put him in the 4th spot. Because right now, when he first comes back, I don't see putting him in the top 3. I just don't think that that's a wise idea. I think you bring him back in and give him a little break. He doesn't need to come in and be under such pressure. I would leave it Pena, Paredes, Altuve, and then put Jordan in the 4th spot. That's what I would do. If it were my decision, that is what I would do. Are there any cruises from Houston to Japan? That would be a long one, wouldn't it? I wonder how long it would take. 30 likes. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Already at 30. First pitch to Walker is in there for strike 1. Severino for the A's, the pitcher for the A's, he is a right-hander. Here's the next pitch from Severino. Walker hits it high in the air, and it looks like it's going to be playable at first in foul territory. It is. That's out number 1. 1 away on 2 pitches. 17 total pitches for Severino right now. Crank it up, Cam Smith, and that's what he did yesterday, that's for sure. 4 hits and 2 home runs. Pretty amazing stuff right there. First pitch, grounded foul on the right side. 95-mile-per-hour sinker. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Cam goes after that one too. That was inside and low. The sinker, he fouls it off on the left side. 0-2. 1 out, nobody on. Cam calls a little timeout. Wants a little break. Luis says, can't wait for our rotation next season. Wow. That's fouled off the mask of the catcher. 0-2. 3 straight foul balls to the first base side, to the third base side, and then off the catcher's face. Your face, says Cam. Louis says Brown, Arrighetti, Javier, Garcia, McCullers, Blanco. Yeah, we've got a lot of great pitchers. We really do. We really, really do. Look at this one. Boom. Your face, he says. 0-2 is the count. 20 pitches now for Severino. Here comes the next pitch. Outside and in the dirt. Ball 1. Sergio says definitely not out of the Galveston terminal. My guess is that you can take some cruises to Mexico, right? I guess that's pretty popular. Outside. Nice take. Letting that Swiffer go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Hey, no! I thought that was going to be a single. A line drive straight to the second baseman. Nice solid strike by Smith, but Urias was right there to grab it. So out number 2. It looks so good sometimes. It looks so good at first. It's like, oh. Line drive, almost right up the middle. The Batman, Victor Caratini, comes to the plate. Here's the first pitch from Severino. Little inside. Ball 1. Normalized 6-man rotation. That'd be nice. Save some arms. Can you imagine if we had 6 pitchers that were either stars or really, really good? Man, the Astros would be unstoppable. 2 balls and no strikes to Caratini. Wow, inside he almost got him. I think almost every game there are pitches that either hit Caratini or almost hit Caratini. He's like a ball magnet. He is a leather magnet. Here's a 3-0 on the inside edge. Severino just barely picks up a strike there. 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Grounded through the hole. Here we go. Another 2-out single. This time courtesy of the Batman. I guess Caratini is Catholic. He's got the cross going on after he gets the hit. Sign of the cross. Why are so many players Catholic? You see a lot of the players doing the sign of the cross after they get a hit. Now, Mr. Baseball's at the plate. 30th pitch for Severino coming up to Jake Meyers. That's outside, ball 1. Thirty pitches now for Severino. His pitch count's starting to creep up there. Here's the next one. 95 on the inside edge. Good pitch. 95 mile per hour sinker. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brendan says, I think there's a world cruise that maybe goes to Japan. How long are those cruises? Do you guys have any idea? I'm kind of curious about that. Woo! Ground ball down the first base side, just barely foul. Myers gets lucky there instead of grounding out easily to the first baseman. He will have a 1-2 count. Caratini on first base with 2 outs. Come on, Myers. This is a hitter's park. Let's see what you can do. Right in there, strike 3. He goes down looking. 96 mile an hour sinker. It always kills me when I say, come on, man, let's see what you can do, or show me something. And then they just take a strike for strike 3. I would be so embarrassed if I were watching my son's baseball game. I don't have a son, but if I had a son and I were at the game, come on, son, show me what you could do. Show us what you could do. And then he takes a strike for strike 3. I'd be like, oh, my God. What are you doing? What are you doing to me? You're bringing shame to the family. You bring shame on my name. Don't come home until you get a homer. Shame on you, my son. Shame on you. Shame on you, Jake Meyers. 2 hits for the Astros. 2 2-out singles so far. Actually, 3 2-out singles in this game for every single inning. Every single half inning. So the top of the first, 2 outs, single. The bottom of the first, 2 outs, single. The top of the second, 2 outs, single. Now, are the A's going to play along and do 2-out single again? We'll see. I want to ask you guys a question. I want to create a poll here. Start a poll. What jersey should I get first? Space City OG Blue Altuve. Okay. Bright. Let's see here. Classic Retro Glenn Davis. These are the main ones that I want. There we go. You guys can vote. I really want to get another jersey. I got my Biggio jersey back there that I got lucky and found. First pitch from Framber is on the way in the dirt, practically, for ball 1. He is facing Max Muncy. Wow, 3 to 4 months, Brendan. That's quite a while for a cruise. Here's the pitch. Pena grabs it, fires over to first. Little bit of a ground ball there. What in the world? Where's my... Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry about that. I had my overlays mixed up. I got it fixed. It's all fixed. It's all good. 1 away. Nick Kurtz comes to the plate. Sergio says both the Stankies and the Mariners lost their games. Woohoo! Tied for second place in the American League. And we're about to take that second place with today's win. Hey, Mark. Good to see you. Welcome back. Here's the first pitch to Kurtz. That's a strike. Nice sinker. 96 miles an hour, man. That's got to be difficult. Got to be difficult. Got to be. 1 away. Here's the next pitch from Framber, the 0-1. That's hit to the opposite side. Oh, Kurtz, you didn't follow the script, man. You're not supposed to get that hit yet. That's going to be a double. Altuve tried to get there, but it was an opposite field hit for Kurtz. That's going to be a double. Opposite field double. Kurtz went off script. Fire that guy. You can't just go off script. I'm the director here, not you. You're just an actor. 1 out. 1 runner on second. That brings up Gio Urshela. 81 miles an hour in the bottom of the zone. Nice curveball from Framber. I can't make up my mind if Framber is like cheese or a painter. Maybe both. Look at that. Swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt. They'll swap it out for another ball, but the count is 0-2. Brendan says regular cruise 5 to 7 days or 3 days. Okay. Foul tip at the plate. Count remains 0-2. Brendan says looks like today's game might be close. I don't think so. I'm predicting 7-2 Astros. 7-2. Here's the next pitch. Strike 3, swing and a miss. First strikeout for Framber, 97-mile-per-hour sinker, a little up in the zone. Urshela went after it. Just couldn't get the wood on it. Tree to leather fell. Tree to cow. Tree to cow fell. Bark to leather failure. That brings up Austin Wins. First pitch on the way. Wins hits a line drive to center field that's going to score a run. There's one of the 2 runs that the A's will get today. As soon as that ball was hit by Wins, you could see the reaction of Framber. He went, rah! He said probably some choice words. Look at his response as soon as it's hit. Oh, they didn't show it that time. There's the single. So Wins was following the script. He got the single with 2 outs. Clark is at the plate. The very first pitch comes out of the grip of Framber's hand. He throws it way over the head of Diaz. It goes to the backstop. Man, look at this. Look at that. Way out there. It came out of his hand immediately. Slippery. Runner goes to second. Here's the next pitch to Clark. The count is 1-0 with 2 outs. That's in the bottom of the zone. A nice curveball. Strike 1. Immediately regains his control. That's good. Shoot says 3-2. Mark says at least 5 for Stros. Everybody's got a different opinion here, but I'm not feeling a close game today. Not at all. There's the pitch. Just a little below the zone. 96-mile-per-hour sinker. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two outs, 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner on second. Here's the pitch from Framber. Clark goes after it. Foul tip into the glove of Diaz. Strike 2. This is an interesting park. You just go out there and set up like a picnic and watch the game. It's pretty interesting. Here's the next pitch. Grounded at the plate. Two balls, 2 strikes to Denzel Clark. 27 pitches for Framber right now. He's still underneath Severino. In the dirt, check swing. Did he go? They say no, he did not swing, so it's going to be a full count. One says 6-4 Astros. I sure hope Framber doesn't give up as many as 4 runs. Charles says, get some runs for Framber. Let's go kick some R's today. I agree. I'm with you 100% on that. Let's go. Here comes the full count pitch. Right in there. Grounded to Dubon. Easily picks it up. Fires over to Walker. Out number 3. So the A's do get on the board with the single, driving in the runner from second base. So there was a double and a single. And then a wild pitch from Framber that put another runner on second base. But that's pretty much where the damage ended. 3 hits now for the A's. And 1 run on the board. 1-0. The washed up Athletics. And the Houston Astros, who are about to be second place in the American League with a win on this game. Sergio says 6-3. That's pretty close to what I was saying. I'm saying 7-2. Mine is the most optimistic, I think, so far, but I feel that it's just going to happen. Severino can't hold down the Astros today. Mark says that they say Severino has been struggling a lot. Yeah, and Mark, this is a hitter's park. If you guys don't know this, and it's possible you don't, because a lot of these statistics and things I see on the screen, I might sound like a smart guy sometimes when I give you some statistics, but that's just because I'm seeing it on the screen. I don't always mention the statistics at the exact same time I'm seeing them on the screen, and there's a reason for this. I'll tell you about that in just a minute. But one of the statistics I saw during yesterday's game was that this particular ballpark is ranked number 3 in being friendly to hitters. I can't remember which one is number 1, but Dodgers Park is number 2, actually, believe it or not. The number 3 hitters park is this one. So it's not difficult to get a lot of hits here. That's funny. Uh-oh, first hit. First swing. Very first hit. Look at that. Look at that. Mauricio Dubon comes to the plate, guys. Look at this. Holy cow, I can't get it on the screen. The very first pitch, Dubon comes to the plate and hits a home run. Holy freaking cow. Can you believe that? Dubon ties it up with 1 swing. But they were just showing that Dubon was using a Yordan Alvarez bat. Can you believe that? Dubon was using a Yordan Alvarez bat. It comes back out and bows down and salutes the bullpen. Wow. 6 times in a row now Dubon has been on base. Pena is now at the plate. 2-0 to Pena. No outs. This game is tied up already. 1-1. How do you like that? Next pitch is on the way. Low and inside. Ball 3. Pena might be on. We might have the flash on base in just a moment. Our number 9 hitter is just destroying the A's this series. Here's the next pitch. Barely inside on that edge. Strike 1. 3-1 to Pena. Yes, he has been on fire, Brendan. Here's the next pitch. Fouls it off on the right side. Into the crowd it goes. Full count. Brendan says, I hate small stadiums. Well, they're fun to play at when you're a hitter. Stressful for pitchers, I guess. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. It didn't matter. He checked his swing, but it didn't matter. It was in there. He goes down looking. 1 away. 94-mile-per-hour sinker. Left center field. Boom. Hilarious. Over 400 feet. First pitch to Paredes is in there for strike 1. Here's the next pitch. Paredes hits it pretty hard to left field, but it's going to die. Wow, look at that catch. Schumann makes the diving catch, saved a single, at least a single. Isaac Paredes could have had at least a single out of that. Diving catch. I'm sure they're going to show that again. Talk about getting robbed. Got to give credit where credit was due. Schumann, that was a good pitch. Altuve's at the plate now. First pitch is hit foul. Wow, he crushed that one. Look at that. That was a home run, just foul. Altuve attacked that first pitch from Severino. 1 for 1 today. Let's make it 2 for 2, Altuve. Let's take the lead in this game and shut up this crowd again. Here comes the pitch. Here we go. No, it's going to be playable, but he might get an infield hit. They say he's safe. Wow, I thought for a second that was going to be caught. It was a broken bat over on the left side. Went over the head of the third baseman, however. Shortstop played it on a hop. And Altuve rushed over to first. You can see it went over the third baseman's head. Throw over to first. They called him safe, but the A's they're not going to look at it. He's safe. So he's on. 2 for 2 today with 2 hits. Yainer Diaz swings and misses the first pitch. Altuve with 2 singles. A line drive up the middle and an infield hit. I love it. Shut up this crowd, man. Shut up these rude fans. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Diaz. He hits it under the left side. It's going to be through. It scoots through. A hit for Diaz. Muncy dove at it, but couldn't get his glove on it. Astros are coming through with some 2-out hits right now. Wow, almost 40 likes already. You guys are awesome. Moving on up. We might get to 60 today. If we get to 60, that'll be the first time. Altuve, he came out of the box. He didn't come out running very fast. He had to speed up. He barely beat it out. He should have been booking it the whole time. 250 career hits against the A's. He owns the A's. That's right. That's why the crowd won't be quiet. Walker's at the plate, takes that first pitch up and inside, 97 miles an hour. How many pitches for Severino now? That's 47. 2 people on, first and second. There's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Walker. You don't want to be pitching balls to a guy named Walker. Yeah, Sergio, to get past 50, man, I'm thinking at this rate we might get to 60. Who knows? Let's go. Make sure you subscribe. Let's get to 500. That's going to be a ground out to the second baseman. Walker shuts down the Astros' 2-out rally. But Dubon's home run right off the bat on that very first pitch ties up the game. Astros with 5 hits now. They are definitely hitting the ball. But we strand a couple of runners with 2 outs, unfortunately. 1-1. This game is reset. Framber back up on the mound in a moment to face Max Schumann, the guy who just made that fantastic catch against Paredes to rob a base hit. He actually, because of that catch, he actually cost the Astros a run, because if he'd gotten on base and with that hit from Altuve and then that other hit from Diaz, Paredes would have scored. Astros could be winning 2-1 if not for that catch. So Schumann saved a run. 29 pitches for Framber so far this game. Fox at Bat says, hi everyone, go Astros. Nice to have you here. Thanks for coming back. Casey Jones says, Doobie. Hey Casey, nice to see you here. We're at 39 likes, just one away from 40. Holy cow, it's the middle of the third. I think it's time for me to make some more coffee, too. I believe it's that time. I've got my filter ready to go right here. It's all conditioned. I just need to add some of my coffee grounds to it. By the way, guys, we get to 1,000 likes, or I'm sorry, 1,000 subs on the channel. I'm going to give away a Japan treat box. I'm going to put several things from Japan in that box, and I'm going to do a kind of a raffle, little contest, and whoever wins, I'm going to send it out. One of the things that I'm going to put in there is some Japanese coffee. I'm going to take all of my favorite Japanese things and put them in one box and send it to the winner. So we get to 1,000 subs quick, then we have that raffle. You have a chance to win it. Grounded to short to Pena on the very first pitch. Fires and gets him out. So Schumann is retired on one pitch. Easy peasy so far. Jacob Wilson comes to the plate in just a moment. Mr. Wilson. All right. Why do they keep playing that song in this ballpark? I don't want to lose your love tonight. Here comes the pitch to Wilson. Just a tad outside, maybe less than a centimeter. Less than a centimeter. Centimeter. 1 ball, no strikes to Wilson. Here comes the next toss. Right in there. No doubter. Strike 1. 1-1 is the count. All right, there we go. Let that cook. Here comes the 1-1. Hey, nice pitch. Inside lower corner on that beautiful pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Wilson. Astros hurt his batting average yesterday. Let's damage it some more. Here's a 1-2 pitch. He taps it to Framber. He's going to have to try to grab it and throw. He can't. It's going to be an infield hit. That was a difficult play, and I doubt Framber would have made it. I'm kind of glad that Framber didn't have an opportunity to throw that ball, because he probably would have thrown it out into right field or into the crowd or something like that. But they're showing highlights of Framber's 12 strikeouts in last game. So, base runner, Wilson does get a hit. 1 runner on with 1 out. And that brings up Brent Rooker. Mark says you could join Spinal Tap. Spinal Tap. Hey, look at that. Wilson tried to go for the steal, and he got tossed out. A's are going to take a look at it. They're not going to challenge it. Yiner gets the toss out. How about that? Nice. Dubon. That was close. Good tag by Dubon. Good catch, good tag, good throw. Everything good, good, good. Out number 2. No base runners now. Cry yourself. Cry a little more. Next pitch to Rooker is off the plate for ball 2. Man, I'm over here trying to pay attention and get my coffee poured at the same time. I'm a multitasking fool. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. A couple inches below the zone. That's a 3-0 count. I think that's the first one I've seen in this game. 3-0, first 3-0 count that Framber has thrown, that is. Here comes the 3-0. Way high. 4-pitch walk to Rooker. So we have that base runner back, but this time with 2 outs. Brendan says best ERA on the Athletics is 4.47. Woof. That's scary. Jordan says, I'd buy one of your favorite Japanese things box. I donate double the cost plus shipping to your channel. Hey, Jordan, you tell me how much you want to spend, and I will hook you up. Add in a couple of those Hiroshima baseball caps. Hey, man, I can do it. They've got a lot of cool stuff here. I've got a really cool Hiroshima Carp jersey also. That's in there. Strike one to Urias. Rooker on first base with 2 outs. Anybody who's by the way, anybody who's interested in donating to the channel, I can't sell anything because of my visa. I'll explain that later, maybe during the break. That next pitch is a little low. Ball 1-1 to Urias. But basically, I do have residency here in Japan, but I'm not working and I'm not allowed to work, so that's one of the reasons I'm doing this. Hey, 91 miles an hour in the bottom of the zone. Good toss. The changeup drawing strike 2. Still waiting on that one extra like to get to 40. Did I like my own live stream yet? I can't remember if I did or not. There comes the 1-2 pitch. Fouls it away. Count remains 1-2. Framber trying to get that one last strike. Mark, you mentioned Spinal Tap. Some channels, when they do their live stream, they do 10, but I go 11. That's for you. Crank it up to 11. Here's the next pitch. That's hit out to right field, all the way out to the warning track. Cam gets it right on the edge. Out number 3. All right. No damage done. Got an extra hit. The A's got an extra hit, but no runs. The score remains 1-1. 5 hits for the Stros, 4 for the A's. No errors. Yeah, I'll take this moment just to kind of to tell you guys, basically, I've been living in Japan now for over 5 years. I lived almost 7 years in China. But if you want, as an American and as many Western countries are concerned, you can actually come to Japan without a visa, and you can travel and stay here for up to 90 days without a visa. Whenever you arrive, you just have to tell them why you're here, what you want to do, where you're going to go, etc. Like, you know, if you don't give any ridiculous answers, they grant you permission to enter the country. So it's not guaranteed that they grant you permission when you show up, but it's highly irregular for them to ever deny you entry. If it's clear that you seem to be a problem, I mean, you really don't know what you're doing, or you say the wrong things, like you say, oh, I came here. Even if you say, oh, I came here looking for a job, they're not going to let you in. Because you need to already have a work visa before you get here. And if you show up as a tourist and you say you're looking for a job, that is a big red flag. But so the reason I said that is because if you're going to live here and you're going to stay here for an extended time, you have to have particular types of visas. I'm not married to a Japanese lady, so I don't have that option to get the spouse visa. The only options I have are to either be a student and have the student visa, or to have a job, then I have a work visa. But you can't just go get any job. You have to have the qualifications and the experience, plus Japan has to need you, you know. Cam Smith is at the plate, takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. The reason I said all that is because my current visa it allows me residency so I can be here for medical treatment. Low in the zone for strike 1, 1-1 to Cam Smith. I already bought a house here, and I have a car, and I have built a life. So it was easier for me to get this visa. Usually, this visa historically requires you to have quite a bit of money in your account. I didn't have a ton of money in my account, but because of me already having a house that has no note, and a car that has no note, etc., they allowed me to stay. But there's a big, there are a couple of big things. 2-2, by the way. Foul ball by Cam Smith. I don't get insurance coverage, and I can't work. And I can't even sell anything for money. Can't do any of those things. Cam Smith fouls that one off to the first base side. He's ripping at the ball, but he hasn't been able to straighten it out yet. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count remains. So anyway, donations from friends, family, or through my YouTube channel are okay. Fouled off again on the right side. 2-2. The count remains. So anybody who's interested in donating to the channel, any amount is very, very welcome and definitely needed. But that's in the dirt. Full count. But I'm more than happy to send a thank you gift of stuff to anybody who's interested. So, fouled off again. Count remains 3-2. So I'm glad that Jordan mentioned that, because although I can't say, hey guys, if you send me some money, I'll send you some stuff. I can't just say that because it's basically selling stuff. But you know what I'm saying. Cam grounds it up the middle. That's going to be a hit. Crank it up. Cam wins the battle against Severino this time. He's going to be on first. We have ourselves a leadoff base runner. And he's a fast one. He's a fast one. He's a fast one. And my coffee is sitting here ready. I need to doctor it up a little bit. I'm going to put some cream in this one. Anyway, if you're wondering, how can I afford to live and get by if I don't have any income from a job? Well, that's a good question. First pitch is a ball to Caratini. Next one on the way. Opposite field hit. There we go. The Batman does it. 2 for 2. Caratini, man. The true Batman with the opposite field smack. Cam Smith goes to second. Now we have runners on first and second with no outs for Jake Myers. Let's keep it going, Myers. Severino up to 60 pitches now. Little bit of a break on the mound. First pitch to Myers on the way. Right in there. 96-mile-an-hour sinker, strike one. Woo, that's hot. Woo, I didn't realize it was that hot. I almost burned myself there. Whoa, it's hot all the way down. He threw the Swiffer way out there. But Myers said, no thanks. 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs, runners on first and second. Let's go, Stros. Here's the pitch. Way outside again. You mentioned the Carp, the Hiroshima Carp baseball team. I actually had a funny idea I thought would be kind of cool, is to do a live stream from the Hiroshima Carp Mazda Stadium. That would be fun. Uh-oh, base hit for Myers out in the left field. Throw home, but he gets held up. That was out there so quick. That was a rip by Myers. And guess what? Mauricio Dubon comes to the plate. Do you guys want to take bets whether or not Dubon gets a grand slam right here? What do you think? 97-mile-per-hour sinker. Look at this. Paris Chica was telling him to go at first and then told him to hold up. He doesn't know what he's doing. Man, what is with Paris Chica? He was like, go, go, go. No, 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 no. Stop, stop, stop. Make up your mind, yo. The hero of the past couple of days or couple of games, you could say the owner of the park, is at the plate. No outs, bases loaded for Mauricio Dubon. Here's the first pitch. A little inside. Man, I'm very surprised that Dubon didn't go after that one. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Fouled back. 97-mile-per-hour sinker. 0-2. I need to really cough. Okay, was just trying to find the mute button. Let's see here. Brendan says, how good is the Roman? Are you talking about like the roaming signal? Little tapper at home. He lobs it home. A little tapper to the mound right near home plate. Severino scoops it with his glove to the catcher to get the force at home. Pretty easy for him. The opposite of a home run there for Dubon. Just a tapper right by the plate. 1 away. Bases remain loaded. Jackson says LSU walked it off against Arkansas. That's awesome. Thank you for that update. I have not had a chance to keep an eye on that. Thank you so much for telling me about that. Low and outside to Jeremy Pena, guys. Pena has not had an outstanding series against the A's. Now would be a great opportunity for him to regain some confidence with bases loaded. Here's the pitch. A little low and inside. It was close. Ball 2. Roman? I meant. You said Roman? Two and 0. Here's the 70th pitch. Fouled off by Pena. 2-1. Brennan says, Roman. How good is the Roman? Roman. R-O-M-A-N? Roman? Roaming? I'm not sure what you mean by Roman. Here comes the next pitch to Pena. He hits it out into right field. It falls! Heck yes! 2-1. Caratini scores. The Astros kind of had to hold up to make sure that dropped. But Caratini was able to run home no problem. That was just a hit off the end of the bat. Dropped right between the right fielder and the second baseman. There we go. Bases still loaded for Isaac Paredes. He socked the ball. Comes to the plate with bases juiced. 2 grand slams in his career. Be nice to see another one. Pitches outside for ball 1. Oh, ramen. Ah, okay, I'm sorry. You meant ramen noodles. Ramen. Okay, I was trying to figure. I was like, what, Roman? Roman? I thought you were talking maybe like the signal or something. First pitch, or second pitch rather, to Paredes is in the top of the zone for a strike. The count's 1-1. But Brendan, there are many, many types of ramen here. You have no idea. Ramen here is on a completely different level. In America, we're kind of used to the junk that you buy in the store. That's trash. That's so far removed from what ramen really is. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Paredes goes opposite field, but foul. Let me change. There we go. Okay. It looks like the ESPN site hasn't updated the scoreboard. There we go. I had to refresh it. Top of the 4th, 1 out is correct with bases loaded. Here's the pitch. High and outside. Ball 2. 2-2. Where I went to school, by the way, Brendan, I went to school in a town called Onomichi. Onomichi has some famous ramen that they use. They use like pork fat. But there are many different places in Japan that are famous for their ramen. They really like to play around with it. Fouled off. Count remains 2-2. No, it's okay. I just wasn't for sure. I wanted to be sure what you were talking about. I had no idea we were talking about food. $50. $50. What's $50? Perez Chica sometimes gives me double agent vibes. Yeah, man, he doesn't make any sense. How many times are the Astros going to score this year? by ignoring him? And how many times are they going to not score because they listen to him, you know? Paredes goes golfing and strikes out. Come on now, we can't waste this. We need 2 more runs this inning. We got to get 3 runs out of this. We've only got 1 run. But my man comes to the plate. I can hear the boos now. I don't see him on the screen. They're not showing him on the screen yet, but I can hear the boos from this crappy crowd. They are not living their best life, these A's fans. Come on, Altuve. He goes after the first pitch, fouls it back. The 98-mile-per-hour sinker, Severino cranking it up a little bit against Altuve. But Altuve says, I can hit that. 7 grand slams in his career. Wow. 7. Let's make it a nice even 8. Let's go with the money number. Here's the pitch. 98 again, up out of the zone. Swing and a miss that time, but that ball was way up there close to his head. Altuve taking a timeout, stepping out of the plate. Or stepping out of the box, rather. Stepping out of the plate. Maybe for Altuve it is stepping out of the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 0-2 is the count against Jose Altuve. Here's the pitch. In the dirt outside. Why would you throw him a junk pitch like that? I don't think that even Altuve is going to try to swing at that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Altuve is 2 for 2 today. One of those hits came off the Swiffer. Severino needs to be careful with his Swiffer. Altuve can put it out into the grass in the outfield. Severino steps off the mound. That's a disengagement. Ace says Astros are on a skits mission with bases loaded. Here's the pitch to Altuve. He hits it high in the air. Might be playable all the way over to the dugout. Whoo, just barely on top of the... Just barely out of play on top of the Astros dugout. He's going to get another pitch here in just a moment. One ball, 2 strikes to Altuve. Trading View says Onomichi Ramen sounds amazing. Sardines, yes sir. Yeah, actually you can look up online. You can type in Onomichi Ramen and you'll see what it looks like. I also had some that's called black ramen. It's very nice. The next pitch to Altuve is way outside and in the dirt. Catcher is able to stop it. So runners do not advance on a wild pitch, unfortunately. Look at this. The bullpen is already going for the A's right now. They don't have a lot of confidence in their pitchers, do they? 82 pitches, though, for Severino. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fouled off again by Altuve. He's hanging in there. Bases loaded with 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Altuve's 2 for 2. It's 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2 for Altuve. Here's the pitch. Popped way up in the air, back and behind the plate. Is it out of play? Yes, it is. Again, just barely out of play. Altuve's messing around, making everybody work. First baseman, the catcher, the pitcher. Yeah, that's right. Tire everybody out, Altuve, and then big hit. This is a big battle going on right now. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. This is lobbed into center field. Looks like it's playable. Drop it, drop it, drop it. Severino gets lucky. Fly out for Altuve, but the Astros take the lead 2-1. There's nothing more disappointing than getting bases loaded with no outs and then coming away with either none or 1 run. I mean, just 1 run. And you had your main guys coming up at the plate, right? Your main guys, your top of the order, and you come away with 1. So your bottom of the order is like hit, hit, hit. Top of the order comes up, out, out, out. Wakaranai. I don't understand. But it is what it is. 9 hits, guys. Can you believe that? 9 hits for the Astros and only 2 runs. In the first 4 innings, we have 9 hits. At this rate, there should be 20 hits. The Astros would have 20 hits at the end of the game and maybe 3 runs or 4. How terrible would that be? 50. Wow, just for a second there. Number of viewers on the live stream was up to 50. It jumped way up there and it came back down to around 40. Middle of the 4th. Nothing going on right now. Sometimes I have people come in and immediately go out because what they're looking for is somebody live streaming the game. But that's stupid. The reason that's stupid is because if I live stream the game, then my live stream will get stopped. It will be blocked. It'll be taken down. Let's see here. I'm going to close out this poll on screen. You guys are big time in on the Altuve jersey, so I'll keep my sights set on that one. That's the one that I really want the most. But just for nostalgia purposes, I want the Glenn Davis jersey, but I'll wait on the Glenn Davis jersey. I'll keep looking for the Altuve one. I actually ordered one from China, and it was a really good price, and it showed up while I was out of town, and they freaking sent it back. The company that delivered it, they sent it back to China, and then they tried to tell me that I wasn't here to receive it, so they sent it back, and I would have to pay for the shipping to send it back. Plus, the purchase price, I would also lose that money. And I said, no thank you to all those things. In the end, I got my money back, but I never got my jersey. Second pitch from Framber on the way to Max Muncy. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 straight balls from Framber. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. There's a strike. 89 on that outside edge. Changeup. Looked like it was going to come in and then it went out. 42 likes on the channel. That's awesome. 18 more likes to get to 60, guys. Let's do it. First time. First time ever, I think. I can't remember. Maybe last year I got 60 likes. Can't remember. I'll have to go back and look at my videos. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 2-2 to Muncy. He calls timeout. As the season progressed towards the playoffs last year, my views, my likes, and my subs started to go through the roof. In 1 month, I had almost 200 subs. That's where most all of my subs came from last year. It's just 1 month towards the end of the year. Fouled off by Muncy. The 80-mile-per-hour curveball. But right now, there has been a steady increase of views and subs. I appreciate you guys being here to support me. Fouled off again by Muncy. This time opposite field down the first base side. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 50th pitch from Framber. Way high. 95-mile-per-hour sinker missing the mark. That was a riser. His sinker became a riser. Full count. If I can pick up a couple of sponsors for my channel, I can guarantee that I'll be able to continue doing these games and producing more Astros content for you guys. I can guarantee it. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Right in there, fouled off. Another curveball, 79 miles an hour. Bottom of the 4th, no outs, full count. The Rangers lost 6-3 to the Mac Royals. Kansas City Mac Royals. Here's the 3-2. In the dirt, ball 4. So Muncy will be on with a walk. Ace says 4-1. I guess you're talking about the score. I'm still thinking the Astros. I mean, they've been hitting the ball like crazy. I still feel really strong that they're going to get to 7 runs. I'm not giving them more than 2, though. I refuse to budge on that one. 7-2 Astros. Here comes a pitch from Valdez, the very first one, to Nick Kurtz. He sends it out to Altuve in left field, who puts it away, brings it back in. Casual, cool, calm play. 1 away. Runner stays on first. Willard says, Astros need another hit, legit home runs. Yeah, we had some legit home runs yesterday. We had like 5 of them. That's crazy. 2 of them by Cam Smith. I mean, heck, Dubon hit one yesterday and today. It's crazy. I wish he'd hit that one during that bases loaded. That would have been nice. Grounded to Pena. He bobbles it. Dubon has to hurry, but they get the double play anyway. Despite the bobble at shortstop, he stayed with the play, got it to Dubon, and then Dubon fired it over to first. There we go. Good play all around. Pena bobbled it at first, but Dubon saved it. Another Framber Valdez special. If Framber were a true painter, probably his masterpiece would be the double play ball. We go into the top of the 5th. Astros up 2-1. 9 freaking hits for the Stros. No errors. 4 hits for the A's. No errors. Yeah, thanks guys for being here. Simone, you're asking a bunch of Astros fans if they think the Astros win this game. I'm not sure that that's a real question. Whenever I see a question like that, I have a feeling that it's like a spam account. I'm not saying that you're a spam account or that you're a bot, but that kind of question seems like a bot question, just tossing out questions. Because this is an Astros channel, right? So, of course, all of us think the Astros are going to win this game. Why wouldn't they? This is a terrible team that they're playing. Let's see here. Luis Severino appears to be still in the game. Is that true? That can't be true. Do they still have him in the game? No way. I think my Yainer Diaz hits the very first pitch in the air over to first base for out number 1. I think my satellite dish out there, my Starlink dish, was adjusting because I lost. That happens occasionally because the dish is what you call articulating. It moves. So in order to adjust and connect to the strongest satellite, it moves sometimes. And my stream was disconnected just for a moment. Christian Walker's at the plate, takes the first pitch for strike 1. 1 away, nobody on. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt. Top of the 5th. Here comes a 1-1 pitch. Hit up the middle and backhanded by the second baseman, who makes a good play, but he had plenty of time to throw that one over there. Just like that, just after 4 pitches, already 2 outs. Cam Smith comes to the plate. He does have a hit today. Here comes the first toss from Severino. High and inside. Ball 1. 90 pitches now for Severino. Here comes the 91st. A little inside, but called a strike. 1-1. Come on, Cam. Increase that lead. Here's the pitch. Little high. Ball 2. 2-1. You guys ever taken a shower outside? I have several times. That's what I do every day now. Wow, that was close. Ball 3. 3-1 is the count to Cam Smith with 2 outs. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Whoa, almost hit him. 96 miles an hour. Not even slightly competitive. He walks Cam Smith, and that is the first walk issued by Severino. Pretty interesting. He's thrown so many pitches. 94. Now he's facing Caratini. Caratini has 2 singles today. The Batman with 2 singles and a run scored. First pitch on the way. Fouls it off. Man, that one also went off the mask of the catcher. Even Caratini was checking on him. 3 times he's been hit on the mask. Look at that. Off the mask. Caratini's like, hey, bro. Are you all right? Catcher to catcher, you know? They gave him a little break there. 0-1 is the count. 3 times he's been hit right in the face with the ball this game. This one's fouled off on the third base side and up into the crowd for strike 2. Runner on first. No balls, 2 strikes to the Batman, who's also 2 for 2. Kind of a quiet atmosphere right now. Caratini decides to call timeout and step out of the box for a moment. They said Severino's averaging 98 pitches per game. That's nuts. He gets the strike 3 on the outside edge. The Swiffer. The Batman goes after it, so he's 2 for 3 today. Severino probably just pitched his last inning. Luckily for him, can you believe it? He pitches 98 pitches, 99 pitches through 5 innings. Only gives up 2 runs, but 9 hits. 1 walk. That's crazy. Talk about having to work your butt off to get there, you know? He took the scenic route to hold the Astros down. Mm-mm-mm. 2-1 Astros. 32 people following along right now. 45 likes on the live stream. Thank you so much. I do want to take this opportunity to remind you guys, for those of you who have not done so, I'm going to put this up on the screen just so you can see it clearly. Got about 12 days left into the end of the month. And currently right now, let's take a look. Let me take a look at my channel here. I didn't mean to click that. View my channel. Current subs are at 453. That's great. I need 47 more subs to get to 500. If you notice on my posts, I always say, we, help us out, or we this, or we that. And when I say that, I'm not talking about me and the other people here that are helping me. And I'm not trying to make myself look like a company or business or anything, because I do literally 100% of everything by myself. The reason I say that is because I consider us a community. So what I'm building here is not just for me, it's for us. So whenever you sub and support the channel in any way, you're part of that. You're a direct part of that. So I just want to say thank you in advance for subbing. Austin Wins is at the plate right now. First pitch from Framber is in there. Oh, no, it's not. It's not in there. It's ball 1. He missed. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Did you see that? Framber is nodding and shaking his head. He's like, hey, you know, that was an amazing play by Pena. Pena had to run to his right, backhand that ball, make a jumping, running throw all the way over. Perfect throw. That throw could not have been better. Talk about a Gold Glove play. Walker didn't even have to move for that ball. He didn't have to scoop it. He didn't have to jump for it. It was just beautiful. Denzel Clark is at the plate, takes the first pitch in the dirt. Man, what an amazing play by Pena. 1 out. Absolutely stellar. Astros are tied for first place with the most infield outs above average in the league. That's in there for a strike. 1-1 to Denzel. Denzel Washington Clark. Casey says, I live in Florida. Got rained on riding my e-bike home the other night. Does that count as an outdoor shower? Sure. Well, it depends. I think since you're in Florida, it depends. If the temperature was really, really hot and humid, then no, it doesn't count because there's too much sweat. But if it was cool or cold, then yes, it counts. Counts as an outdoor shower. Maybe even with the sweat, if you add some soap, it counts. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count, and that one's in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Denzel Clark. Hey, Nickapoo, did you see Brendan Rodgers' injury? I don't want anybody to be injured, but if Rodgers is unable to play, I'm not going to be upset about it. He's not been what we need so far. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and that pitch is in the dirt for ball 3. 3-2. This house is so old, it did not have an indoor bathroom, so I'm having to build my own bathroom until that's complete. All of my other stuff is outside, like my shower. That's in the dirt. Ball 4. Runner on with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 5th. I have a what's called a squat toilet out in my storage building. I have an outdoor sink for washing my hands and washing dishes and stuff. And I have an outdoor shower for washing myself. Fouled off. Max Schumann at the plate. Strike 1. Oh and 1 is the count. Here comes the next toss. A little low and outside for ball 1. 1-1. Runner on first with 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike. Astros up 2-1. Come on, Stros. Let's go, Framber. Double play ball. Here's the pitch. Low and inside. The changeup missing by quite a bit. 2 balls and 1 strike. Guys, I am so stoked because I found something in the Caldi Coffee. I don't know if you guys know Caldi Coffee or not, but it's like an import/coffee store here in Japan. That's hit to the right side. Could be a double play ball. No! Walker fumbles it, and he throws it away at first base. So not only is it not going to be a double play ball, it's going to be a double error. A double error on Christian Walker. Talk about a rare mistake by a Gold Glove guy. He picked double error. Oh my gosh, Christian Walker. Christian Walker, man, what are you doing? Little meeting on the mound with the infield right now. Holy cow, runners on the corners now. Currently, they've got 1 error charged, but I believe there are going to be 2. Umpire comes out to the mound. He gets involved in the chit chat. He's like, "Yeah, I know. It was a crazy play, but we got to get back to the game." Framber doesn't even have his glove on. Where's his glove? On the ground? That's funny. Oh man, runners on the corners with 1 out, and Jacob Wilson at the plate. MLB leader with runners in scoring position, batting .435. We got the double play ball that we wanted, but Christian Walker messed it up. We didn't even get 1 out of that. First pitch to Wilson on the way. That's a strike on the outside edge. Nice pitch, the 88-mile-per-hour changeup. Brendan, what did you miss? You missed an absolutely terrible double error on Christian Walker that could have ended the inning. That's what you missed. Way outside for ball 1. 1-1 to Jacob Wilson. Right now we have runners on the corners with 1 out. Jacob Wilson at the plate. 1-1 is the count. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Wilson. That's hit hard. Right at Paredes, who gets it and goes for 2. They've got it. Paredes comes through where Walker failed. Paredes gets that rocket. And Framber gets another double play. So the defense let him down, but then the defense picked him up. Pena to Dubon, Dubon to Walker. Double play on Wilson. There we go. Astros get out of the inning. Thank goodness. So the Astros missed the double play, but thanks to Valdez, we had another opportunity, and Paredes came through. That's the thing. One guy makes a mistake on defense. You got another guy who can pick him up. A little bit of a mar. And they do have 2 errors on the board now for the Astros. Christian Walker, 2 errors in 1 play. Can you believe it? Sergio, you're right. You will definitely not see Christian Walker making errors often. But there are some times where what I have noticed that when Walker does make an error, it's in a situation where he has to do things quickly, a few things quickly. And then he kind of fumbles the ball and loses his concentration. So in a controlled situation where, for example, Paredes makes a really bad throw from third base and Walker has to make a really great catch, that's no problem. If there's a rocket hit right at him and it bounces right in front of him and he has to catch it and then step on the bag, no problem. It's pretty direct and he can focus on it. But when there's a lot going on and it's a little more quick, go, react quickly, that's when he makes an error. I've noticed that about him. In that situation, that's exactly what happened. He had to quickly grab the ball and go to second for the double play and then get back on the base. But because he fumbled the ball when he went to throw to second, then his only choice was try to throw it to Framber to get the out at first base. But then he threw that one out towards the dugout. He made 2 errors because he had to move quickly and think quickly. It was unfortunate. There is a new pitcher in for the A's. He's pitching to Jake Myers. The first pitch is a ball, 1-0. Here comes the next pitch. Way outside. That was a wild pitch. Tyler Ferguson is at the plate. On the mound, not at the plate. Tyler Ferguson. Ferguson with a U. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Myers. That's in the top of the zone. Myers hits that one out to right field, and it's going to soar into the crowd for strike 1. Brendan says Rogers was doing nothing anyways, but I still hate injuries. I agree with you 100%. I don't even care if it's the other team's best guy. I don't want anybody to be injured. I'd like for both teams to be at 100% when they play. I don't care how good the other team is. I don't want anybody to be injured. Even if it's a bad guy, like a poor sportsman, I don't want him to be injured. I just want him to play fair. There we go. Myers pokes it through the left side. Second hit of the night for Myers. Right between the third baseman and shortstop. Good hit. We have ourselves a leadoff base runner. Old dog. Hey, guy. Hey, dog. What's up, you old bit dog? I'm sorry. I'm going to always refer to you somehow as bit dog. Doobie at the plate again. He had a home run earlier, which was awesome, but with bases loaded, he tapped out. He tapped out to the pitcher. He said, I can't take it. Tap out, tap out. 1 for 2 today. 0-1 is the count after that foul ball. Here comes the next pitch to Doobie. In the dirt and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hey, yeah, we're only 3 away from 50. That's right, Sergio. Thank you very much. Please hit that like button and remember my goal to get to 500. I appreciate you guys helping me get there. Next pitch is just a little outside. Good take. 2 to 3 inches out of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Myers on first base. 0 outs. Ferguson goes over to first. Myers is back. 10 hits for the Astros. And just 2 runs on the board. And 6 innings. Not even 6 full innings. 10 hits already. And just 2 runs on the board. That's fouled back. The 94-mile-per-hour fastball. Seattle lost. Woohoo! That's right. That's right, old dog. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 Dubon. Here comes the next toss from Ferguson. He fouls it off again. That one was a Swiffer. 83 mph on that toss. I need to get up and stretch my legs. I can't wait to the 7th inning. After this inning, I'm going to have to get up and walk around. I'm going to be so hungry by the end of this game. Here's the next pitch. Grounded up the middle. Could be a double play. And it is. Dubon grounds into the double play at second base. A quick toss to the shortstop and then a throw over to first. That erases our base runner. 2 outs for Jeremy Pena. The top of the order coming up. Pena got his 35th RBI, his last at bat with a bases loaded single. This first pitch to him is low and outside in the Doit. In the Doit. 1-0. Yeah, Brendan, you're right. They are pretty terrible with runners in, or bases loaded rather. Line drive shot to left field. Jeremy Pena comes through again with another hit. This time an 0-2. I'm sorry. A 2-out single. Nobody on base, though. Still, getting Pena on base is always good. I approve. I always approve of Jeremy Pena getting on base 100% of the time. You can quote me on that. Paredes comes to the plate. Couple of strikeouts, unfortunately. Fouls this one off. Oh my gosh, another one. 95 off the face mask of the catcher. That's the 4th one. Man. Yeah, they're coming out to check on him. That's 4. A direct smack to the face of the catcher. Man. Poor guy's taking a beating. Maybe it's the karma from the fans saying so many rude things about Altuve. The karma is being funneled to the catcher. Look at this. Boom. Wow. That turned his mask sideways. It's got to feel good. Yeah, old dog concussion check. You know, the face mask is designed to withstand that, but still, man, you know, that's got to be stunning, right? Take that. Yeah, take that. A little controlled pain. Next pitch is a little low. Ball 1. 1-1 to Paredes. The Flash is on first base with 2 outs. Isak is 0 for 3 today. Let's see if he can come up with something here. Low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. I really, really, really want to go traveling, guys. Anybody want to buy me a ticket to come see a game? I really feel like I want to go somewhere. Just unable to do that right now. Hey, a throw over to first base. It gets by. Pena's going to go to second easily. Nice. All right, so the Flash is now in scoring position. 2 balls and 1 strike to Paredes. Yeah, that was actually a really good throw by Ferguson. But the first baseman there, he tried to bring the glove down so fast he missed the catch. Here comes the 2-1 pitch in the bottom. Oh, no, just below the bottom part of the zone. 3-1. All right, we got ourselves a hitter's count now. Brendan says we need 5 runs to play it safe tonight. 5 runs more, my friend. That's what I'm thinking. Ah, right in the zone. 94 miles an hour. Swing and a miss by Perez. He went after that one. But he didn't even touch it. He did not even kiss it. No tree on cow action there. Here comes the 3-2 pitch in the dirt. Ball 4. So we got 2 runners on now. Framber sitting over there with the fan. Sitting there with the portable fan. Trying to cool down. That's funny. Jose Altuve. I don't hear the crowd yet. I hear him a little bit. Yeah, they're starting to crank it up now. You can always tell when Altuve's walking to the plate with this crowd. That's funny. He's got the fan literally clamped on the tablet there. While he's looking at the tablet, he's enjoying the fan. We've got runners on first and second, guys, with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. For some reason, there was some kind of long delay. I don't know if it was a pitch comm issue or whatever. But finally, Altuve is standing at the plate or standing near the box, ready to go. 2 for 3 today with a couple of singles. Let's make it 3 for 4 with a 3-run homer. How about that? Shut up this crowd. Here's a pitch. Ooh, he goes after that one way inside. 84 miles an hour up and in. Strike 1. He might have hit the catcher with his backswing there, actually. That poor guy, he's going through the ringer today. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That's hit hard to left field. It's all the way out there. It could be gone. It's gone. It is gone. He did it. Thank you, God. Jose Altuve. Screw this crowd. Screw this crowd. Jose Altuve with a 3-run homer. Forget you fans in the crowd saying such terrible things about my man Jose Altuve. Pointing out to the bullpen. Yes, that's right. Point to that bullpen. Give them some love. Yeah, that crowd is... it's like half cheers, half boos. Forget all you people saying such horrible things that I cannot repeat on my live stream to this wonderful guy who just hit it out. And very first pitch, the next at bat, how about that? Yainer Diaz goes right after it in singles. That's right. Screw this crowd. Screw this crowd. Altuve to left center field. He crushes it. Look at that smooth swing. Nothing but class right there. Nothing but class. 5-1 Astros. That is my man right there. I love you, dude. I stood it. Yes. Sugoi. Walker's up at the plate. Looks like he might have a hit out into right center field. It is. Diaz is going to go around to third. This inning is not over, say the Stros. Runners on first and second. That's right. The Astros are climbing their way up to those 7 runs that I predicted they would have. Cam Smith is due up with 2 outs, runners on the corners. How about a crank it up? Crank it up, Cam. A triple? I'm smelling a triple. 50 people following along right now. That's awesome, guys. 52. It's going up. 49 likes. One more like to 50. Hey, just 11 more to 60. Here comes the first pitch to Cam Smith. Coming up in just a moment. It's on the way. He fouls it off. The 90-mile-per-hour cutter from Ferguson. 23 pitches now for Ferguson. Old Dog says, where's the fireworks? Tearing them up. They're probably going off in Dykeen Park right now, that's for sure. Here's the pitch from Ferguson. Fouled off. 95-mile-per-hour fastball. 0-2 is the count. Come on, Cam. I smell a triple. Another pitcher warming up in the bullpen for the A's. Here's the pitch to Cam. He fouled. Oh, look at that. Cam Smith does it. He comes through with a hit down the left field line. That's going to score Diaz. All the way to the corner, a double. Astros up 6-1 thanks to Cam Smith. Walker to third. Runners on second and third. And that's going to be all that the A's coach can take right there. Yeah, they're like, yeah, go ahead and bring him in. I know he's not warmed up, but whatever. Yeah, that's right. Go sit down. Go sit down. And take your bad fans with you. That's right. We're on break now, guys. We are on break while the pitching change goes on. We are going up, guys. Number 2 in the American League. That's right. If you're an A's fan, you can suck it. Not all A's fans are bad personalities, but the ones in the stadium, you can suck it. Treating my hero like he's some kind of garbage player. I've been waiting for him to shut up this crowd, and that was great. Lock this game down. 6-1 Astros in the top of the 6th. It's a good day today. It's a good day today. They just need one more run this inning to get to that 7 mark. Yeah, just like Old Dog said, of course with 2 outs. Of course, the Astros are number 1. By far and away, by the way, the number of runs that the Astros get by percentage with 2 outs, they are by far and away in first place in all of MLB. They're getting close to 60%. Think about that. Close to 60% of their runs are coming with 2 outs. The next closest team is in the 40% range. It's not even close. Ring it up. Ring it up. Angels beat the Skanks again. Yes, that's right, Jordan. That's right. Astros. Simone says, let's go, Brendan. All right, who's on the mound for the A's? Doesn't really matter. He's going to give up runs anyway. Sean Newcomb Very first pitch is taken up and outside. Caratini's at the plate, the Batman, batting right-handed. Sean Newcomb. Next pitch to Caratini on the way, the 1-0. Caratini crushes it to left field. Is that going to be foul or fair? Is it in? It's gone. It's gone. He crushes it out of the park. Caratini hits it out of the park. It is gone. It's 9-1 Astros. Batman comes through. What a game for him. He's got 2 singles and a homer. How do you... Finally, they get out of the inning with the ground ball out. How do you like that? Caratini hits it out of the freaking park. Look at that. Look at that. He's like, go, go, baby, go. Go, baby, go. The Batman. The right-handed at-bat, and he just throws that bat away like, yeah, that's right, baby. That's right. The only thing that he's robbing today is the A's. He is the Batman indeed. 9-1 with 16 hits. That's what I'm talking about. Forget these A's, man. Second place in the American League, guys. Who would have thunk it earlier this season? Let's take a look at the live chat, see what's going on. Brendan says your channel has gotten popular recently. That's great. It's because of you guys, because you're here and you're chatting and you're liking the channel, you're participating. All of the actions that you guys take to interact with my channel and to interact with me, it sends a message to YouTube, and then YouTube brings more people in. I've discovered with some of my other channels in the past that whenever I use advertising, even YouTube advertising, to try to let people know about my channel and bring them in, it causes problems. And the reason it causes problems is because it does give a really quick boost of views. A lot of people come in because they see the advertisement or whatever. But it's very, very difficult to create an advertisement that is targeted toward the exact person that you want. And so YouTube is showing it to a lot of people. And so a lot of people click, but only a very low percentage of those people will stay more than a couple of seconds. And an even smaller percentage will subscribe to the channel or like the channel. So it's kind of stupid, but the way YouTube works is they're like, oh, we showed your channel to thousands of people and only a few people actually stayed and liked your channel. And so your channel must not be putting out very good content. And so they decrease my natural views. Does that make sense? Wow. Framber's back on the mound. The very first pitch is a little low, but called a strike. A little generous by the umpire to Brent Rooker. 0-1 is the count. Here is the pitch. In the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rooker. So anyway, I said all that to say this, that I don't do any advertising on this channel for that reason. I just want things to grow naturally. So when it grows, it's because of you guys making it grow. You're sending the message to YouTube that the channel is interesting and that the content is interesting. And the longer you stay and listen, the more YouTube gets the message, hey, people actually are engaged with what's going on there, and so they show it to more people. So thank you very much. 2 balls and 2 strikes with that delivery to Brent Rooker. 73 pitches now for Framber. The 74th is on the way. Swing and a miss. He picks up another strikeout. He doesn't have a lot of strikeouts, though. That's just number 2, believe it or not. Last outing, he had 12. Only 2 strikeouts in this game through 6 2/3 of an inning. Oh, well, almost 6 2/3 of an inning. Right now, it's 1/3 is finished. Here comes the next pitch. The first pitch to Urias. In there for strike 1. He had the little check swing, but he didn't matter. It was in there anyway. Strike 1. Here's the next pitch. Little low and inside. Ball 1. 1-1. The changeup missing. Jordan says, I'm feeling better about this game now. You should. We're up by 8. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Or actually a foul tip. That one was low, below the zone. Scary pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One out, nobody on. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luis Urias. Here's the pitch. Is that in there? Oh, Framber really wanted that one. They should have given it to him. That was definitely a strike. That was definitely a strike. Look at this one. Right in there. That's a strike. Umpire called it a ball. Can you believe it? 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Big curveball. Taps it foul at the plate to stay alive. Count remains 2-2. Old Dog says Dodgers leading in MLB batting average, 265. Astros fourth, 255. 255 is not good, but, you know, hey, we're in the middle of the pack, I guess. Fouled off again. Did I miss something there? Oh, I should look at the screen instead of just listening. That was actually a ball, 3-2. Here comes the full count pitch. Too far inside and low. Urias gets a walk with 1 out. Sergio says, I thunk it. I have the Astros running down the Detroit Tigers for first place and home field advantage going into the playoffs. I agree. Tigers are not going to be able to sustain their run, I believe. Caesar says Padres have a difficult game with the Doggies. That's true, but they can do it. First pitch is in there. A sinker for strike 1 to Muncy. Max Muncy. Runner on first with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Little too far inside. 96-mile-per-hour sinker. 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 delivery to Muncy. Framber just misses low and inside, maybe by an inch or two. Ball 2, 2-1. Framber not looking too happy right now, a little sweaty. He's missed a couple of close calls. You know how Framber can get a little bothered by that sometimes. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. That one's way low and inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Framber walks around the mound. I think that if he walks this guy right here, then they need to have a little meeting on the mound just to give him a break. Umpire calls timeout for the batter. Steps out of the box. Fine by me. Framber could use a little break. Jordan says, if we go up 10 games, would it coincide with our 10 games back time last year? That's a good question. Very interesting thing to look at. Here's the next pitch, the 3-1 to Muncy. Long delay by Framber. Too long for me. I can't keep the preview up for that long. Ball 4. He walked him. 5 walks. That's a season high for Framber. Are they going to visit the mound? Yes, I was correct. Dubon is over. Diaz is coming out. Josh Miller's coming out. Everybody was thinking what I was thinking. Let's have a meeting on the mound. If he walks the guy, meeting on the mound. Meeting of the minds, guys. We'll be back in just a couple of moments as they have this meeting. Brendan says the only good team the Astros have not beaten this year's Giants swept us earlier. That's right. That's true. And that was early on when we were trying to get things worked out, right? Jordan says after losing Bregman and Tucker. Yeah. Last year came down to the wire. Yeah, last year was just claw and scrape our way to a very weak playoff appearance in the early stages in a wild card spot. That was a crappy start to the playoffs and an end. We can't lose at home. Strange year. Yeah, we can't be doing that. Can't be losing at home, but we're doing really good at home right now. We're owning it. First pitch to Kurtz is too far inside for ball one. 2 runners on, guys, with 1 out. The double play ball is in effect. Let's see if we can get it here. Here's the next pitch from Framber. Kurtz goes after it. It is a ground ball, but it gets past Walker. It's going to go into right field. It's going to score a run. 9-2. The A's get another run. So the A's get the 2 runs I thought they would get. Runners are on first and second. It's pretty crazy that the runner scored from second base, but the runner on first couldn't get to third. Runners on first and second. .88 pitches now for Framber. Here's the first pitch to the next batter. Low part of the zone. Strike 1. Nice toss. Beautiful sinker to Urshela. Urshela over 2 today with a strikeout and a double play ground out. The 0-1 with runners on first and second is on the way. Just barely outside. 1-1. Old Dog says Detroit doesn't have Magnum PI around anymore, so they're done for in the long run. That's true. That's true. Woof. Man, I thought that was a ball, but the ump liked it. Caught the edge. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Old Dog says bullpen warm-up time. I agree. I think this is it for Framber regardless. This is his last inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Nice curveball. Oh, no. That caught the upper outer corner, but the umpire said no thank you. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Man, he is really working on Framber's nerves. Dubon is warming up in the bullpen, by the way. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That was a foul tip caught by Diaz. Urshela goes down for the 3rd time, this time with a strikeout. Boom. Look at that. Next batter is Austin Wynns. Here's the pitch. Right in there. Strike 1. Starts him off with the curveball. 0-1 is the count with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Brendan says let's keep it 2 runs. Yes, that's my prediction. Let's keep it right there. Here's the next pitch. Wow, that one had a lot of movement on it. That was a beautiful changeup. It's just too bad that the placement was off. That had a ton of movement on it. I had more trouble hitting those when I was playing baseball than I had hitting the curveball when they had a lot of movement like that. From inside out, those are difficult. Batter steps out of the box. Now Wynns is back ins. Here's the 1-1 pitch. He fouls that one off. First base side into the crowd. Hey guys, we got 56 likes. I just noticed that. We're only 4 away from 60. That will be a record this year, a new record. I think 56 is already a new record. I don't think I got to 56 last time, but 60 likes on the live stream would be freaking awesome. That's great. Here's the pitch. That's a little tapper to the infield. Could be a little trouble here. A little flip by Dubon. He's got it. Out number 3, so a little ground out. Framber gets that final out. 97 pitches for Framber. He throws his glove down, throws his hat down. He's not happy. You know, when a guy gives up 2 runs in 6 innings and just 5 hits and has basically shut the other team down, and your team is scoring runs like crazy, you're up 9-2, and you come out at the end of the 6th and you're that upset with your performance, you know that you have a lot of passion for the quality of your work. Some pitchers, man, some players, I would say especially pitchers, if you guys notice how sometimes players and pitchers, you know, whether they're pitchers or position players, sometimes they get like a really nice contract, or they're making really good money, and then they just don't seem to care so much anymore about doing a good job. But Framber, he gets a lot of attention, right? And he's getting paid pretty well. And of course, he can increase his value, and that's what he's been doing. He's been increasing his value, and the Astros might not be able to keep him. But to see him visibly concerned with doing better than what he's been doing, I don't want to see him getting upset. I want to see him remain calm. But at the very least, we know that he cares. And that means a lot to me, to see that the players actually care. I mean, if you think about the money that they're making to just play a game, it's literally a game. And they're making big money to play a game. And I know that there's some sacrifice involved to be a professional athlete, but they are getting compensated. Trust me. Brandon Connie says, liked and sub, let's go Astros. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. First pitch is in there on Dubon for strike 1. Let me turn my audio back on so I can hear what's going on in the game. He hits it up the middle, but that's going to be playable by the second baseman, who fires over to first. Out number 1 with the ground out. 1 away here in the top of the 7th. Jeremy Pena coming to the plate. A couple of hits today. One of those an RBI. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Four-seam fastball. Newcomb is still in the game for the A's. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. 86-mile-per-hour cutter in the top of the zone. Sean Newcomb is a left-handed tosser. A tosser. ERA is 6.13. Woof. Here's the next pitch. That's ripped into left field. Look at that. 17 hits for the Astros this game. That's a season high, guys. Astros were at 16 hits. That tied their high for the season. 17 hits for this game. Now is their best performance of the year hit-wise. After Pena ripping it into left field. A 1-out single. The third single of the game for Pena. Here's the next pitch. Outside to Paredes. Ball 1. Framber has a lot of heart like Altuve. Yeah, the only difference is that it takes a lot more to get Altuve upset, right? Framber can get shaken kind of easily sometimes. Next pitch is right in the top of the zone. Isak still no hit. Yep, that's right. Paredes is the only guy in the lineup that doesn't have a hit. The only one. He got robbed earlier. He almost had one. How about a homer? Here's the pitch. Hey, is it through? No! They throw it in the dirt to second base and then over to first for the double play. He ripped it down the third baseline, but once again robbed. Man, Paredes is putting the bat on the ball. He's done it a couple of times, but he's been robbed both times. A diving catch in the outfield and then that nice snag by the third baseman. Still no hits. Everybody else in the lineup has a hit. But poor Paredes. Check this out. Dubon and Walker are the only batters that don't have at least 2 hits. Paredes has 0. Dubon and Walker have 1 each. Everybody else has 2 or 3 hits. I mean, the Astros lineup is tearing it up. But Paredes, 0 hits. Poor guy. 58 likes on the live stream right now. Just 2 away from 60 and a new record for 2025. I wonder what I've got for the subscribers. My countdown to 500 subs. We're at 458 subscribers. So just need 42 more. 42 more subs, guys, before the end of this month to get to 500. At that point, YouTube will allow me to do some other things. I'll have some more controls and some more things that I can do with the community tab. There's some different things that I can have access to. I will also have what's called partial monetization, where there's some options for me to make some income on the channel, which would be great. But I appreciate you guys getting me there. The higher it goes, also, the more people they show it to, and the community can get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I appreciate you guys subscribing if you haven't already. We are back into the bottom of the 7th, and it looks like we have Sean Dubon in the game for the Stros. He's taking over for Framber. Framber's night is finished after 6 innings. Dubon's ERA right now looking pretty good through 18 innings, 1.5. He's facing Denzel Clark, the first victim. 94 right in the zone on the sinker, strike 1. Here comes the next pitch. Also right in there, another sinker. 0-2. Clark takes a timeout and steps out of the box. Brendan says the rookie's playing better than the Yankees. That's right. Absolutely right. Nikki says, wishing you the best. Enjoyed the show. Thank you. I guess you're talking to me? Thank you so much. This is hit high in the air to right field. Dubon is back, and he'll take it for out number 1. An 0-2 fly out. 1 away. Clark goes down. Max Schumann is due up. Brendan says the Rockies. I see. I thought you were talking about like the rookies on the Stros. I was going to agree with that too. First pitch to Schumann is in there. Another sinker for strike 1. 3 strikes and a fly out are all the pitches that have been thrown so far by Dubon. Here's the next pitch. That's hit to right field, but Cam Smith should be able to grab it, and he does on the run. Out number 2. Opposite field line drive out. 46 people following along. Still sitting at 58 likes, guys. If you haven't liked the live stream, please do so already. Just need 1. 1 more person to like 2 times. 2 more likes. Just 2 more likes to get to 60. Rockies almost sweeping the Nationals. Go figure. That's funny. Are they at home? Maybe that's why. Next pitch by Dubon is a sweeper in there. Dubon throwing a lot of strikes right now. 0-1 to Jacob Wilson. Jacob Wilson 1 for 3 today. He grounded into a double play his last at bat. Just off the outside edge. I think that's the first ball thrown by Dubon. 1-1. Brandon says, I'm going to have my people sub for you. And by the way, your name is my name. My name is Brandon too. So awesome. Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, other Brandon. Foul down the first baseline. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 7th. But thank you so much for asking your people to sub. I don't know who your people are, but there must be good people. Here's a pitch. In there for strike 3. Got him looking. Jacob Wilson, he's laughing about that. He knew that was in there. 96 miles an hour. Dubon picks up the strikeout on one of the... He's got the number 2 batting average in all MLB. And he strikes him out looking, and he knew it too. He was smiling and laughing at that. He just took it. That was a great strikeout. Nice fun for everybody. Old Dog says Rockies almost sweeping the Nationals. Yeah, I meant to ask you about that. If they're playing from home, I can understand that. Sergio says great idea, Brandon. Yes, that is a great idea. 59 subs. I'm sorry, 59 likes. Just one more for 60. Man, I wonder what the analytics look like on this particular live stream today. I need to clear my throat. All right. 60. Woohoo! Awesome. It's a new record for 2025. 50 was the old record. 60 is the new record. I can't believe it. 60 against the A's. Man, I wonder why. Is it just because of channel growth and because of all the new viewers and subscribers? I don't know, but either way, I'm very appreciative. Have we got a change in the subscriber count? Let me take a look. We were at 458. Where are we at right now? 459. Picked up one extra. Almost at 460. Need 41 more subscribers in order to get to 500. I was not necessarily overconfident, but I guess I was overestimating it last month. I was thinking maybe I could get to 500 last month. Guillorme is now in the game. Batting for Altuve. Swings and misses the first pitch. Similar result on the second pitch. It's 0-2 just like that on Guillorme. Guillorme Chef. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Check swing on the outside and low. He held up. 62 likes. That's right. Let's keep it going. Let's get to 70. Jack it up. Crank it up like Cam Smith. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Guillorme. Newcomb is on the mound still for the A's. That one's out of the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Guillorme not giving us anything really exciting recently. He's got the big beard, but not the big bat. Framber went out to the wall earlier in the bullpen. They locked him out. He's like, hey, open the door. He wanted to go hang out with his people. Swing and a miss by Diaz. 2 for 4 today with a couple of singles and a run scored. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And he goes after that one way outside and fouls it off at the plate. 0-2 against Diaz. Christy Rodriguez, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Liked and subbed. Brandon Connie sent me. Thank you so much. And Brandon, thank you. Your people are rolling in. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Always glad to see more people here. More Stros fans. Good people. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Yainer Diaz with that throw in the dirt. 1 out. Sean Newcomb still on the mound for the A's. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's hit high in the air. Not playable. Back into the crowd. Count remains 1-2. 20 pitches now for Newcomb. Here comes the next pitch to Yainer. He fouls that one off too. Bounces it down the third baseline. Old Dog says, fear the beard time, Lewis. Nice channel stats today. Absolutely. I'm very happy about this. This series has been very good to my channel. but it's because of you guys. You guys lay a really nice foundation. Here's the 1-2 pitch in the dirt again. Yiner doesn't go golfing for this one, fortunately. He doesn't pull out the sand wedge and go after it. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Here comes the next pitch. Too far inside and low. Full count. Diaz climbs his way back into this at bat by giving Sean Newcomb a little bit of grief. A little bit of grief. That's hit up the middle. Is it going to be down? No, that's a line drive out. The center fielder is there. Is that Clark out there in center field? Nice smack by Diaz, just not in a good spot. He quickly ran into the dugout. Man, he has some energy. Top of the 8th, and Diaz still running around like a kid. Like a middle schooler. Where does the energy come from? Christian Walker at the plate. Had a nice single and RBI his last at bat. Inside. As Newcomb tries to take his knees off. 65 likes, guys. We might get to 70 today. That'd be freaking awesome. 70? That'd be amazing. That's hit up the middle. Wilson plays it over. That was a nice play. Out number 3. He scoops it up and fires it over to first. Puts away Walker. I think that's the first 3 up and 3 down that the A's have had this entire game. I have no sympathy for them, though. And I definitely have no sympathy for their fans. You guys already know that. For those of you who've been listening to the live stream the past couple of days, the fans in the stadium, they are really quite something else, saying a lot of horrible things, spewing their vitriol at Jose Altuve. But Altuve finally did what I've been begging him to do this whole series, is hit a nice home run to shut them up. He had a 3-run shot earlier, and it was so perfect. It just really helped to blow the game open. Astros up 9-2 going into the bottom of the 8th. 17 hits and 2 errors for the Astros. Both of those belong to Walker on the same play. 5 hits for the A's and 1 error. What's going on in the chat? Let's take a look. Jay Paul says at least no drums. and no vuvuzelas. Do you guys remember that from the World Cup in Africa when they had those stupid vuvuzela trumpets, and every time you'd watch a game, all you could hear is just nonstop the whole time? Man, that made the games unbearable. Alex says, that's awesome. I've been a long-time Astros fan. That's great. Alex, I don't know about you. I'm 50. I know that I have a baby face. I'm 50 years old, and right after I was born, my family moved us to Houston, which is my mom's hometown. My mom's entire family basically is in Houston. And from the time I was a baby until the time I was about 7 years old, Houston was my hometown. We lived in Wood Forest. I went to North Shore Elementary. Dubon is back on the mound for the Astros. He's facing Rooker. One of the few balls pitched by Dubon so far. Dubon came in last inning. Here's the next toss. That's a nice pitch. That curveball had a lot of motion on it. Fouled away for strike 1. Looks like Guillorme is over at first base. Dubon is moved to left field. Here comes the next pitch. Low and outside. Check swing. Did he go? They say no. Did he go? No. 2 balls, 1 strike. 65 likes on the channel. Freaking awesome. If we get to 70, I don't know. I might have to celebrate or something. What should I do to celebrate? I'm way out in the country. There's not a whole lot I can do out here. I'd have to go to the city to celebrate. Here's the pitch. Whoops. Preview didn't come up on the screen, but that's in there. On the screen, I meant. Can't speak right now. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brent Rooker with no outs, nobody on. Here is the pitch. Too far outside. I keep clicking the wrong button. What I discovered is if I leave my preview on the screen for more than about 4 or 5 seconds, I get a copyright claim, and I have to remove it if I want to. I mean, I don't have to remove it. There is a strikeout. Another strikeout for Dubon. 2 strikeouts for Dubon so far. And that's out number 1. But yeah, if I want to, I think there won't be any cafes open here locally. Guys, you don't understand how small this town is that I'm in. It's not even really a town, it's a village. First pitch is grounded to Guillorme. I thought Guillorme was at first, but actually they have him on second base, and Walker's still at first. My bad. Guillorme picks it up and fires to first for out number 2 and retires Urias. Mac Muncy comes to the plate. Next pitch to Muncy, swing and a miss. Or he fouled it off the plate? Yeah, fouled it off the plate. Strike 1 either way. Alex says, that's awesome. 50 years young, lived here all my life, and always been super close to Minute Maid Park. That's awesome. The only games that I've been to in Houston have been at the Astrodome. Can you believe that? I've never been to a game at Minute Maid Park or Daikin Park now. Still want to go. I really want to go. Really want to go. But I've only seen the Astros play the Dodgers and the Cubs in the Astrodome. This one's hit out to right field and foul. 0-2 is the count. Into the grass where all the people are hanging out on their picnic towels. Kids are running over there fighting for the ball. Hope we get to see the new reliever. He's straight out of Brazoria County. Really? Low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Muncy. Nobody on, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Kind of a quiet inning so far. 20 pitches for Dubon. Had a good outing last inning. So far, so good this inning. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout. 3rd strikeout for Dubon. 6 up and 6 down for Dubon. How do you like that? Take that, A's. I'll tell you what, guys. I'm not going to say it. But do you know what A's stands for when you're talking about the fans in the stadium? No comment. It doesn't stand for athletics. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. All right, we're on break. Top of the 9th coming up in just a moment. The Astros get another chance to put some more damage, put some more hurt on. I predicted this game would be 7-2. It is now 9-2. I'm happy with the result. Let's see here. Old Dog says Guillorme has played 3rd, 2nd, and now 1st this series. Yeah, he's moving around, isn't he? The new reliever, we don't have a new reliever right now, Brendan. We have Dubon still on the mound. Dubon has pitched 2 innings. Let's see here. Old Dog says, love the Cougars, my favorite. I really wish that I had grown up liking the Cougars, but unfortunately, I wasn't into college ball when I was younger. And by the time I started to get into college ball, I was in Louisiana, and I really started liking the Tigers. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you've ever been to a football game in Tiger Stadium, you'll understand how easy it is to get addicted to Tigers football. That place is insane. Whenever the park is full, it's almost 100,000 or around 103,000 people. And whenever there's a big play and the crowd goes crazy, it registers on the local seismic activity meter. In other words, it creates a minor earthquake. That's how crazy it is there. All right, guys. Crank it up. Cam Smith is at the plate, 2 for 3 today. First pitch is rocketed into right center field. How about that? A line drive hit. 3 for 4 today. Cam Smith having another delicious day at the homeless A's. The homeless A's home. Hogan Harris is on the mound. Hogan Harris. Hogan's Heroes. Hogan Harris. That brings up Shea Whitcomb. Shea Whitcomb is at the plate. Caratini's out. That's in there for a strike. Let's see if Whitcomb can actually do something here. Ayush says, anyone know when Alvarez is supposed to come back? The answer to that question is nobody knows. True, I'm serious. Nobody knows, especially with the Astros staff. They never say anything. They're never transparent with those things, so there's no way to know. But there is no official word when he's coming back. That's the short answer. The long answer is the Astros staff wouldn't be transparent even if there was a clear answer, because that's how they are. 0-2 is the count to Shea Whitcomb. Here's the pitch. No check swing. Did he go? No, they say he did not. A little high. Ball 1, 1-2. 65 likes on the channel. We're kind of stalled at 65. We might not get to 70, but it's all good. We've already hit the record for this year. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Whitcomb with a runner on first. Cam Smith on first. That's in there. Strike 3. That's an easy call. Whitcomb goes down looking. You're not building a case for a starting position, Mr. Whitcomb. 1 away. Jay Paul says no one knows, not even our medical guys. The Astros never know, Jay, right? Even if they do. I mean, they could, even if they knew he was injured and he couldn't come in for at least another month, they wouldn't tell us that. They would just keep us in the dark. Jake Myers takes the first pitch in the dirt. Oh, it's Jake Myers' birthday today. I didn't know that. He's 28 years old. Interesting. He looks older than that. Not much older, but he looks like maybe 32. Two balls and no strikes to Myers. Here comes the toss. He rips it down the line. Look at that, all the way to the wall, right down the third baseline. Myers is around. He's going to go to second. The throw comes home. Yeah, Cam Smith easily gets home. He slides in at home. Astros put a 10 spot on the board. How about that? A double and an RBI with that hit there. Happy birthday, Jake Myers, with that rip down the line. Just past that outstretched glove there. That's what you get for not playing him on the line, man. Boom. 10-2. You know, I said yesterday I want to see the Astros score over 30 runs against the A's in Game 2, Game 3, and Game 4. They're on track to do that right now. Fouled off. Dubon at the plate again. 1 for 4 today with a solo homer. He's got the biggest hit you can get, but other than that, he hasn't really done much. Next pitch is grounded foul down the third baseline. Strike 2. Jake Myers on second base with 1 out. 0-2 count to Dubon. As I leave my preview on the window for too long. My bad. My bad. MLB, my bad. Here's the pitch. Hey, look at that. Dubon pokes it through. Look at that. He just stuck the bat out there and poked it through. Myers goes over to third. We have runners on the corners with 1 out. Another hit for Dubon. Astros now have 20 hits, guys. 20 hits and 10 runs for the Stros. 20 hits. Astros racking them up today. Jeremy Pena comes back to the plate. He's having a good day today. 3 for 5 with several singles, RBI, runs scored. Nice day. Here's the first pitch. That's below the zone, swing and a miss. The changeup got him. IU says, I hate the fans at this stadium. All they do is boo. Yes, I'm 100% in agreement with you. And they say some really terrible things. That's all they do. Pena grounds it to the right side. That's going to score a run. No double play ball there. 11 runs now as Myers heads home. Sacrifice grounder, infield grounder by Pena. 11-2 Astros. Paredes is out. He's not going to have a chance to get a hit this game. Hummel comes in. One runner on second. Dubon is on second with 2 outs. Hummel batting for Paredes. Here's the first pitch to Mr. Cooper Hummel. It's in there for strike 1, a 4-seam fastball. Trying to get caught up with some of these comments. There's a lot of big comments in the live chat I'd like to get caught up to. I might have to wait until the change of innings. Here comes the 0-1 to Hummel. Right on the inside edge, strike 2. Hummel comes in, takes 2 straight pitches for 2 strikes. Batting 111 right now. He hasn't had many at-bats, but he hasn't shown much yet. Come on, man. Show us what you got. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, barely misses the strike zone, up and out. Ball 1. That was a dangerous pitch to be taken. Sergio says, I'm the best friend of any Astros fan and a nightmare to all the haters. That's right. And that's the thing. I don't care if somebody likes another team, even in the live stream. I don't care. Inside, ball 2. What I don't allow is people coming in here being rude. Free speech, 100%. But when you're being rude, that's not freedom of speech. That's just being a jerk. In the dirt, ball 3. Mark says, still he's in Sugarland hitting good. Yeah, he was, but he hasn't done anything yet here. Big difference, right? Sometimes they come out of Sugarland being so-so, and we just need somebody, and then they blow it up. And sometimes they're blowing it up in Sugarland, and then they come in and do nothing. It's strange. Here's the full count pitch to Hummel. Look at that. He gets a walk. He draws a walk. Runners on first and second with 2 outs for Mr. Hogan Harris. Hogan Heroes Harris. Hulk Hogan's Heroes Harris. Amazing. IU says Myers is officially not the Myers of before. He's not going to have a June slump. Yeah, everybody kept talking about that like it was inevitable, but I felt like he had turned a corner, in his career. He has. Guillorme is at the plate. Chef Guillorme, let's see what he's cooking. He takes the first pitch for ball 1. Come on, man. Lefty on lefty. A little lefty on lefty action. Here comes the pitch. A little outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Guillorme struck out his last at-bat, so anything at this at-bat is going to be an improvement. Yes, old dog, I see that. LSU won today at the College World Series. Go Stros and go Tigers. Here's the pitch. Ooh, way inside. Almost clipped him. 3 balls and no strikes to Guillorme. Looks like Harris is having a little bit of control issues here. Diaz on deck. He might have bases loaded. Astros might tack on some more big runs here in the 9th. Who knows? Here comes the pitch. Ooh, on the outside edge. Got that strike just barely. Can you imagine if the Astros got a grand slam 15-2 in the top of the 9th? That would be nuts. Nuts, I tell you. That's what the squirrel says. Nuts. Here's the pitch. Right in the zone, fouled off by Chef Guillorme. He's got it set on simmer right now. Jay says, Remember when we could never score a game after we scored double-digit runs? Oh, man. Good times. Fouled off again. Count remains full. You says that's why I thought we would lose today. Yeah, a lot of people thought that. They're like, save runs for tomorrow, save runs for tomorrow. But hey, I said it yesterday. I want to see the Astros score more than 30 runs in the next 3 games, and they're on track to do it. Swing and a miss. Chef Guillorme is cooking up another strikeout. He just took a little while to cook that one up. He went down faster his last at bat. 3rd out, Astros get a couple more runs, but unfortunately don't dogpile on the A's in the 9th inning like they did in the 6th. The Astros scored 7 freaking runs in the 6th inning. They went nuts in the 6th. They were like, we're not going to wait for the 7th. Instead, we'll score 7 in the 6th. Woo, man. 20 hits for the Astros, 11 runs, 2 errors. 5 hits for the A's, 2 runs, 1 error. Alex says, how do you watch the Astros games? I was planning on getting YouTube TV, but not sure if they show all the games on there. Alex, I use MLB Network. I use the MLB TV, MLB.TV website. And by the way, if you're interested in getting games for a particular team, or if you're interested in getting games where you can see basically kind of all the teams, these are different packages. Now, just if any of you guys are interested, I will tell you this just so you know. I pay for the subscription Astros only. Astros only. And there's a reason why I do that. Because it means I have access to all the games. The only game that I can't watch is when they have their games on stupid Apple TV. Like once a year, they have one game on Apple TV, and I have to go activate my Apple TV subscription just to live stream that one game for you guys. And as soon as I activate it, I go ahead and cancel it. So I have to pay for 1 month just to stream one game, one day. Because they don't show it on MLB TV. Apple TV has this agreement where they get to stream one of the Astros games. I hate it, but you know, if I don't pay it, then I can't watch it. But all of the other games I can watch on MLB TV. Now, you're wondering maybe why I told you that. Because if you get the MLB package where you can watch many different games, there will be a lot more games that you cannot watch. So if you're wanting to watch a certain Astros game, it could be blacked out. I don't have that problem. Okay, guys, there's that reliever I think you were talking about, Nick Hernandez, right? I don't have a picture for him. Here's the next pitch. Whoa, that one was wild. Slider. 2 balls and no strikes from Nick Hernandez. Let me see if I can get a portrait of him. Nick Hernandez. Do we have a picture for him somewhere? I gotta find to see if I've got an image of him on the screen somewhere that I can put up for you guys. Nick Hernandez. There we go. Nick Hernandez just gave up a home run, guys, while I'm trying to find his portrait on the screen. Nick Kurtz goes deep to center field off Nick Hernandez. So there's that new reliever you guys were wanting to see. Just gave up a home run on the very first batter. Crazy. Let's see here. Okay. Oh man, let's see here. I'm trying to get this this image uploaded for you guys. Where are my pictures? Picture portraits. Here they are. Copy. The game is going on in the background here. I apologize for not updating it. I'm trying to create an image for Nick Hernandez. Okay, now we're back. Let's see what's going on in the game. 2 balls and 2 strikes to J.J. Bleday. Hernandez pitching with nobody on. Just gave up a home run to Kurtz. Here's the 2-2, just below the bottom of the zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bleday batting just .199 for the season. Pitch number 10 coming up for Nick Hernandez in just a moment. Here comes the toss. Check swing, he went too far. Ball in the dirt, strikeout. So Hernandez gets a strikeout after giving up a home run. 1 away. 1 away. The AI is creating an image for me so I can update it from Sean Dubon's picture to Hernandez's picture in just a moment. He's got a big smile on his face. He doesn't look serious at all in this picture. He's got a big silly grin on his face. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. All right. Next pitch is on the way and fouled off. Austin Wynns is at the plate facing Hernandez. 1 ball and 1 strike. And I finally got a portrait for Hernandez. Boom, there we go. Fouled off again. 1-2 is the count. It takes me a few moments to get the pitcher's portraits created and uploaded. Jordan says no to YouTube. Yeah, definitely don't use YouTube TV. I used to use that a long time ago, but the problem is I'm in Japan, so they don't have an option. Well, that's hit way deep off the wall over the head of Dubon. A stand-up double for Austin Wynns. That's 2 hits for him. Austin Wynns is the catcher, by the way. He's been hit in the face mask like 5 times tonight. He was also hit on a backswing by one of the, I think maybe, was it Altuve? I think it was Altuve. That was just a line drive straight out there, right over the head of Dubon. Altuve's not out there anymore. They pulled him out of the game. 11-3, the Astros in the bottom of the 9th. Runner on second with 1 out. Here's a pitch from Hernandez. Right in there. Hit hard, hit deep. But Jake Myers is going to play it, bring it in. No tag. Wynns stays at second. He's not a speed demon. 66 likes. Just 4 more to get to 70. Can we do 70? I didn't even think we'd get anywhere near 60. But that we're only 4 away from 70 is nuts. Denzel Clark comes to the plate, 0 for 4 today, facing Nick Hernandez. Here's the pitch. Grounds it to third, just foul. Chef Guillorme grabs it in foul territory. 0-1 is the count. Hopefully we win tomorrow with Colton. I feel good about it. I think we can do it. We're going to get 10 more runs tomorrow. Astros are going to wind up with at least 30 runs total in just the last 3 games. That's my prediction. You know, YouTube has consistently blocked me. YouTube TV blocked me because I'm in Japan. But MLB has a Japan subscription, so I'm all good. Don't need a VPN. I'm very happy about that. Didn't used to be that way. Fly ball to center field. That could be it. That could be it. No! It drops. Are you kidding? Nobody can get it. 11-4. 3 Astros converge on the ball and nobody goes after it. It just drops in. So, was that Schumann? Everybody got in everybody else's way and nobody went after it. Cam Smith jumped out of the way at the end. If he had dove for it, he would have hit Dubon. Astros not closing this game out properly right now. Jacob Wilson is at the plate. Schumann is on first. 2 outs. 1 run scored so far for the A's, or 2 rather, in this inning. Here's the next pitch. Low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Jacob Wilson. I wouldn't doubt it if Jacob Wilson got a big hit off of Hernandez right now, the way things are going. Here comes a 2-0 pitch. That's ripped. Ripped foul down the third baseline. 2 balls and 1 strike. 68 likes, 2 away from 70. 2 away from 70. Last year's World Series was hard for me. Dodgers versus the... Yeah, you're right. I agree. I didn't want either team to win, but I can't stand the Dodgers. They're my number 1 least favorite. Or I say least favorite. They're my number 1 dislike. And so I would have preferred the Yankees to win, but they couldn't even manage to show up for that series. Ball 4. Wilson walks. Runners on first and second. Josh Miller is going to come out and have a little chit-chat with Nick Hernandez. Yeah, when you're up 11-4 and they bring you in for the first time and you start pitching like this, that's not good. That's not good. There's no pressure and you pitch like that. Yeah, the umpire says, yeah, let's break it up, guys. Let's break it up. Brendan says, all right, take him out. Or Brandon says, take him out. Yeah, it's kind of at that point, right? 1 more hit. I think he's out. You got to take him out. IU says, I can't stand the A's announcers. They must be like the fans. At least the ones in the stadium. First pitch. Oh, that should have been a strike. Umpire's not helping out the pitcher here. Call ball 1 on the outside edge. That was in the zone. Rooker is at the plate. He's 1 for 3 today. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. 91-mile-per-hour fastball. Fouled off. 1-1. Old Dog says, I'm a premium YouTube subscriber just to nix the ads. Me too. I've been a premium YouTube subscriber for a long time, but I'm on YouTube all the time, so I get a benefit from that. Pitch is low. Ball 2, 2-1. Also, because I'm a creator on YouTube, I don't have time to be messing around with ads. 69 likes on the channel. 1 more to 70. Here's the next pitch, the 2-1. Fouled off again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 strike away from ending this game. Brendan says this guy sucks. Well, he's definitely pitching pretty bad right now, that's for sure. Center field should have taken control. Yeah, well, Old Dog, you're right. Cam Smith should have taken it. They've actually got Hader taking tosses in the bullpen. Can you believe it? Another foul ball. Count remains 2-2. Yeah, we don't really want to use another arm right now. I agree. Seems kind of silly to have to bring in somebody like Hader, but he probably wants to come in He always wants to come in. Here's the next pitch. Way outside. Full count. 2 runners on with 2 outs and a full count for Nick Hernandez. If he walks him or if there's a hit, what do you want to bet that Hader comes in to close this game? Fox at bat says hi. Hi, Fox. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Right in the zone. Little tap, foul. That would have been a nice, easy way to end the game. Old dog, Cam Smith should have actually taken control of that because he had the best angle on it. But Dubon wasn't looking at him, and so Cam Smith had to kind of jump back and get out of the way at the end. But Cam Smith could have come in and dove at that, but he couldn't because Dubon was in the way. It just didn't work out. Or was it Guillorme? Whoever was at second. Ground ball to third. Nice backhand by Guillorme in the dirt, but Walker gets it for out number 3. Finally. Finally. "12-5 are the Astros this month. They are number 1 in all MLB for June. 70 likes, guys. Awesome. Right at the end of the game. 70 likes on the live stream. You guys beat my record, my live stream record, by a ton. 60 was the live stream record for this year. And you guys just got me to 70. We not only beat the record, we created another record. We got a double record today. Astros win this game 11-4 with 20 hits, 2 errors. A's get 8 hits and 1 error. They scored most of their runs in the 9th inning. They scored 2 on the Astros whenever they bring in Nick Hernandez. So obviously he has some work to do, but it's okay. It's better to bring him in a situation like this than to bring him in when the Astros are only down or up by 2 or 3 runs. You know what I'm saying? Give him an opportunity to get out there and work out the kinks. Give him a little taste. A little taste. I want to take a look at the live stream right quick before we move on. First of all, I want to express my thanks to all of you guys for listening in, following along, subscribing, liking. My goal for the end of the month is to get to 500 subscribers. Holy cow, we went up by another 6 subscribers. Just need 36 more. I'm at 464 subs right now. And we have about 12 days left until the end of the month. So just need 36 more subscribers to reach my goal. At that point, there's more stuff that I'll be able to do on my channel and more tools that will become available for me through YouTube. So I appreciate that very much. I thank you for the 70 likes today. That was awesome. And all of the extra subs, you guys are really helping to grow this channel. You are a part of it. If you think you're just a listener, just a viewer or whatever, just a commenter, it's not like that. This is a community. You guys are part of something we share, part of something that is meaningful to both of us, right? And so thank you for that. Let me take a quick look at the live chat, see if I missed anything. Brendan says, boo, I like the Dodgers. You like the Dodgers? I'm sorry. I like Ohtani, but I don't like that he's with the Dodgers because I can't stand the Dodgers. Let's see here. Jordan says, this time next month I'll know about the Brandon's favorite box. Jordan, send me a message. You know, I've got, I believe I've got my email in my video description and also on my main page. You tell me what your budget is or what you want to spend, and I will be happy to hook you up. Absolutely. Sergio says the Astros are now solely in second place of the American League. That's right. They are, what, a half a game ahead of the Stankies? That's right. And definitely was a nice win, Alex. Brendan says good night to you. J. Paul and the M's and the Rags lost today. That's right. We extend our lead in the division. We take second place in the league. How about that? Best record in all of MLB in June belongs to the Houston Astros. Take that, MLB. Take that, you stinking A's fans that won't shut up in the stands. Tomorrow, the Astros are going to put another 10 runs on this team. And Brandon says, cut Hernandez. Hey, he looked like he needs to be cut, but the good thing is he only gave up 2 runs. He only gave up 2, and one of those was a solo homer. So, I can cut him a little slack. Jordan says, I never want the Yankees unless it's against the Dodgers. Jordan, I agree with you on that. I don't like either team, but the Dodgers are my number 1 dislike. And that's because of the fans. Mark says Montero showed up at the end. Good old Montero. Sergio, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for the help out. I want to do a really quick summary of the game. We've got a lot of scoring to go over, but I'm going to read over it real quick so you can hear how the Astros put all these runs on the board. It was absolutely nuts. Where is it at? I'll put it on the screen. Boom. There we go. All right. Here's the game summary, the scoring summary. The A's actually got on the board first in the second inning with Wins singling to center, scoring Kurtz 1-0. In the top of the third, it was all Astros all the time. Dubon homer to left center, tied it up at 1. In the top of the fourth, Pena singled, scoring Caratini, 2-1 Astros. In the top of the sixth, Altuve with a 3-run homer, 432-foot blast, scoring Pena and Paredes. That's when the game began to be blowed up. 5-1. Again in the sixth, Smith doubled to left, scoring Diaz, 6-1. Right after that, Caratini homered to left, scoring Walker and Smith. Another 3-run blast. 9-1 Astros in the top of the sixth. In the bottom of the sixth, Kurt singled, scoring Urias, 9-2. Myers came up in the ninth. The Astros decided to get some more runs in the ninth inning. Myers doubled to left, scoring Smith, 10-2. Pena grounded out to second, scoring Myers, 11-2 Astros. Astros had a little bit of trouble with Nick Hernandez coming in the relief spot. He gave up a homer to Kurtz and a single to Schumann, giving the A's 2 more runs. The score would wind up being 11-4 Astros. The Astros are now 43-31 and have the best June record in all of MLB. Second place in the American League. And on fire right now, destroying the A's after a really difficult Game 1. Just absolutely coming back with a vengeance. Destroying the A's right now. Winning yesterday 13-3, today 11-4. Tomorrow's game, as you see on the screen here, we've got Colton Gordon on the mound facing off against Jacob Lopez. Lopez has a 4.8 ERA. He's 1-4. Just 1 win. In 30 innings pitched, he's given up 32 hits, and his strikeouts are pretty high, 40 strikeouts. But 32 hits and 13 walks. Astros are doing really well in this ballpark right now. They could have a really big game. So I'm serious. I'm sticking with my guns, and I believe that Game 2, Game 3, Game 4, like I said yesterday, the Astros are going to put up more than 30 runs in total in these 3 games. They're on track to do that right now. Gordon has been improving. He's 2-1 at the moment. I believe in him. I think he's going to have a good day tomorrow. I'm predicting that he'll get through at least 5 innings and give up no more than 3 runs. That's my prediction. Astros are predicted to win this with this matchup predictor at 61.5% on ESPN. Let's see if they've updated the standings. Of course, the Astros are 43-31. I just want to take a look. It looks nice when you look at it, right? Look at this. Stankies, 42-31. The Astros, 43-31. It's not updated right here. But man, How about that? For all of the attention and the talk that the Yankees get, the Astros have surpassed them. And the only people talking about them are the Astros media networks. The rest of MLB, the rest of the news stations, they don't care. They're not showing them the love that they deserve. But that's okay. We'll just keep flying under the radar until we win the World Series. How about that? That's what I'd like. Brandon Connie says, see you tomorrow night. See you for tomorrow's stream. Bring you more subs. Thank you so much, and thank you again. Thank you and thank you. Old Dog says, Yanks lose 6 in a row. Thanks, Yanks. Absolutely. Good job. Good night to you, Old Dog. Caesar says, great game. Thank you, Stros, and goodbye. See you tomorrow. Thank you. Sergio, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Brendan, and thank you, sir. I'll see you again tomorrow. Brandon Connie says, I hate the Mets, the Yankees, the Cubs, and the Giants. Well, my sister is a Cubs fan, but not because she's a baseball fan. And my brother is a Dodgers fan. I had to grow up with them around me and dealing with that nonsense all the time. And so those are the primary reasons why I can't stand those teams. I used to support my brother's team, but because of differences between him and I've decided that I just don't care about the Dodgers anymore. I just want them to lose. Actually, it's okay if the Dodgers do pretty well and then get to the playoffs, and then it seems like they're going to do well, and then they just get knocked out like the Cowboys, like the Dallas Cowboys. They get to the playoffs, and then they get knocked out. That's fine, because that's big heartbreak, right? Alex says the Yanks are struggling. That's right. They are losing. 6 in a row. You can see it right up there. They are on a loss streak. Let me move this over. You can see it right there. A loss streak of 6 for the Yankees. The Stankies. So forget the Yankees. Forget the Dodgers. Let's go Stros. Jordan, thank you. Thank you, Sergio. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for all the help. Thank you for the likes. We got to 70 likes today. I can't believe it. That's a big time record. Beautiful chat, beautiful subs, beautiful likes. You guys, I don't know how else to express it, but to say thank you. Really looking forward to Game 4 tomorrow. See you at the same time. And as always, go Stros.